Welcome to another edition of the Aaron O Show. We live. Sorry about the delay, but for some reason my internet was tripping. So the powers at whatever powers were in charge of that, it is what it is. But we here and we're gonna get the show started. Welcome once again to the Aaron O Show. Now I know a lot of y'all don't bring y'all water to the show, but I'm ashamed. I am ashamed. I'm going to do my very best to make sure that everybody drinks more water. One show at a time. One show at a time. What's going on, Cassandra? Now, what do we have today? What are we going to discuss today? Well, this is the good news. I'm going to discuss something, to me, interesting. Oh, Cassandra, you got yours? Good, good. I know Love C got hers ready. Oh, we're going to see. Peter, what up, bro? What up? Now, let's get into it. So right now, I'm going to talk about a little bit about greed, corporate greed, CEO greed, whatever you want to call it. We're going to talk about greed. We're going to talk about the UAW Shan Fain, who is the leader of the union workers. And also we're going to discuss who do we think is more important, customers or workers, and how do we get to that conclusion? That's what we're going to rock out with. So first of all, let me give a big shout out, of course, to the sponsor of the last show. Snuck in at the end of the show, sent to Kobe, and stole the sponsorship. So shout out to Grizz. I appreciate you guys. Definitely appreciate you always supporting the show. It means a lot. And it definitely keeps every show rocking and rolling. So thanks to you, brother. And hopefully you enjoy this show. Hopefully a lot of you guys are going to be probably on a replay because I'm not going to be in the algorithm because I was streaming before a couple times a week consistently, right? And then I just took off a whole week and a half roughly. And so once you take off that kind of time, unless you have like hundreds of thousands or millions of subs, they're going to slowly wean you off the algorithm. So a lot of people are saying they're not getting notifications. It is what it is. We're not going to trip. Comes with the territory. So it is what it is, right? Without customers, the company will have no revenue to get the workers. Interesting. Kuma got an interesting thought. Bear got a thought on it, right? Let us see. Let us see. Now, first is first. We must start the show off with something nice. Remember, that's one of my goals. Start the show off with something nice, something thoughtful, something, I would say, a positive image thing, right? That's the goal. Whenever I come across things, I share it with you guys at the beginning of the show so that we can start the show with positive things like that. So there will be no difference here. And we're going to start the show off with this. This is what we're going to start the show off with. I think I'll rename this one. Here we go. We're going to start the show off with this one right here. Let me adjust this. And I'm going to play this for you guys. You guys are just trying to oh, thank you. Now she's always been touching. Oh, you see? Daddy didn't do it. Now, who says women don't like flowers? A couple of those girls almost snatched those flowers from his hand. You're going to give me some flowers. I deserve these. Maybe flowers are making their way back to women's heart. Who knows? But it was a good gesture by that gentleman. So, fellas, if you're randomly out and about, I know they say that men don't protect random women, but the least you could do is buy them some random flowers. Least you could do. I think that's the least you can do. Let me see here. There we go. Okay. Oh, let me adjust that one. This is tripping. See, this internet has been giving me trouble all day. So you guys gonna have to bear with me a little bit. You're gonna have to bear with me a little bit, okay? Definitely shout out to Peter the investor. Definitely send something to the waterfront. I appreciate you, brother. But I thought that was a good showing, right? Hey, Lauren, I thought that was a good showing. So, ladies, if you still like flowers, make sure you let the guys know, because guys don't believe y'all like flowers no more. Because when I saw women like, is that not a Birkin bag? No, it's not. It's just a rose. Nick, what up? Oh, let me see here. Oh, see, Lauren likes flowers. Interesting. Look at where the poll. Everybody, make sure on your way in, make sure you take the poll and make a judgment there to let us kind of know what you think, right? Because we discuss greed a lot. We discuss strategies, and also we discuss a little bit of talk about money, and that's where we're going to lead today. So first things first, this is what we're going to discuss. I want to talk a little bit about market conditions, right? So let's start here. As you guys know, one of the things that we look for in the markets are the different stages that they're in. So as you guys know, you're investing, how the stock market works is very emotional, right? So that means this, right? It starts with a normal process, and then it starts with a lot of what we call euphoria, right? That gets the bull market going, everything going up, everybody believing in the market, everything's green all the time. And you start to see prices on the stock market rise, right? And there's no downside in sight. So it pretty much goes straight up, right? And then at some point, you reach the top and you go, boom, you start to fizzle down, right? And then we try to search for a market bottom. Hey, Cree. Now, on the search to try to find the bottom, when's the economy going to bottom out and things like this? Are we going to have a soft landing, hard landing, things like that, deflation and stuff like that, right? That kind of ties into soft landing, hard landings and things like that, which ultimately the Fed will have a lot of influence on. So what are some of the things you look for when you try to find out if the market has bottomed out? This is what I look for when I'm trying to get a sense, because nobody can predict the bottom. Nobody can predict the top of the markets, right? But when you're looking for signs of the market stabilizing and finding a bottom, and remember, the market can trade sideways for 3 to 5 years, roughly. You never know. It can just go sideways, right? And not necessarily go up or down. It just slow, gradual sideways, right? And this is what I tell you to look for. Now, I've expressed this with you guys before, so I want you guys to pay attention. This is what's important. I tell everybody to look for 2 things: bankruptcies, market consolidation. Now, what in particular do I tell you guys to look for, right? What particular markets, right? So let's talk about these sectors. 1, we've already had a level of consolidation in the banks, right? You remember JP Morgan bought, I think, First Republic Bank. There was a couple other banks that, well, banks fell all the time, but we're talking about mid-sized to major banks, a lot of assets under management, pretty much declaring bankruptcy and then their assets getting bought at a discount. But we call that market consolidation when typically the bigger company comes in and swoops those other companies that are struggling at the last minute. Happens all the time. So we saw with JP Morgan, a couple of other banks were consolidated, but I'm just giving you the major ones that you'll know. We saw consolidations in the telecommunications sector when you look at T-Mobile end up buying a smaller company. Uh, Verizon ended up buying TracFone. I think AT&T bought another smaller company. So you start to slowly see a level of consolidation in that sector, right? Now, the next sector we're seeing a little bit of consolidation there, which is the grocery or sector, right? Where you see Kroger has attempted, and they're still in a battle with buying Albertsons, right? And so little stuff like that starts to give us signs, right? Now, another industry that we're starting to see a level of consolidation, which kind of shocked us, is here. I'm going to show you the industry. I'm going to get you guys the amounts so you guys can see it on screen. So you guys get a level of understanding here. Now, what you're seeing here is Chevron. Chevron is a major oil company. They're probably one of the two most important oil companies on the stock market. There are many of them, but they're probably one of the 2 or 3 most important ones, right? I know you did, Love. See, well, remember, they're still scrutinizing that deal. They're still scrutinizing that deal. Okay, now Chevron agrees to buy Hess for $53 billion. And as you can see here, highlighted here, it says, deal is the latest sign of consolidation among oil and gas companies, highlighting industries bet on continued fossil fuel, etc. Right now, that's Chevron. Huge, mega company on the stock market, right? Very huge. Okay. Now, yes. Kroger definitely already. Just remember that deal is very scrutinized. So sometimes when they make a deal, sometimes they unwind deals. Unwinding deals are rare, but they do happen. And it's all about politics, by the way. It's all about politics and optics and who's in office and who's going to, the behind the scenes deals. But don't get caught up on that right now. Here's the focus, right? So you have Chevron purchasing Hess, and then I want to say not too much prior to that, did you have another company? I would say here, let me move that off the screen. Another company, right? Which is, let me see if I can pull that for you guys. Might have to slightly make that smaller. And adjust my screen a little bit. There we go. Sorry, guys. I have to slightly adjust this because my screen is tripping. All right. Hopefully, you guys can see that. Now, you have Exxon Mobil, one of the largest oil companies we have. They went and made a $60 billion deal for Pioneer, right? Now, this is pretty much a really interesting sign to see those particular places because that's a huge company. So you're talking about vastly lowering the competition to a certain degree, but they're going to argue that they wouldn't be able to sustain without, the mergers and all that crap, right? But you're seeing consolidations in a bunch of different sectors. Now, here, what is the sector that I tell you guys to look out for? Anybody that's been watching, you guys will know what is the sector I've been saying, hey, this is probably what you want to look out for when you're trying to find consolidations and really get a feel for the economy. Who knows this sector that I've told you guys to look for? Oh, yes. Yeah. They look, Love, see, yeah, Chevron. Don't be shocked that they give their employees stock. A lot of people have compensation packages, even on the lower employee levels. They still have them. Higher you get, the more possibility of you getting hired. Let's see here. Who remembers? Who remembers which sector? Oh, no. Who remembers? I see. I'm going to let you guys think about this for a moment. What is the industry I've been telling y'all? Because I've talked about this a few times. I said this is a sector I'm looking for. Come on now, people. Come on now. Somebody tell me the sector. Come on, who's going to do it for me? Come on, Bear. Just go ahead and take a guess. Don't be afraid. Listen. We're all here just having fun. Nobody will know. What is the sector for consolidations or bankruptcies that I'm telling you guys to keep an eye for? I've been telling y'all, look out for this sector, look out for this industry, because this is a major sign of the economy. Come on now. A lot of y'all going, no, Lauren, nope. You remember. Don't do that, Lauren. Nope. Look at y'all, so afraid to be wrong. Mm-mm-mm. You know, as they say, no, we already talked about the banks, love. See, come on now, we already talked about that. No, they already have market consolidation there. They've already had bankruptcies there. We've already talked about them. So no, not the banks. We've discussed them. It is a sector in which bankruptcies are not happening right now, and you're not seeing consolidation and mergers there right now. And that's what I'm waiting on. Come on. This is why it's tough to have these conversations. Bond markets. No, we're not necessarily focusing on the bond markets right now when we're discussing this. Some people said housing, oil. Well, we discussed oil, so we're already seeing a level there, right? Tech? No, no tech, no pharmacy, no small. All right. I'm going to tell you the sector, right? And then I'm going to tell you why it's important. Okay. I'm going to tell you the sector. Now, technically, Easy already said it, and I let it slide. All right. I let it slide. Now, the sector we're talking about is the automotive industry. Lauren, be nice. Jesus Christ, Lauren. Lauren, you're one of the people I love the most in this space. You can't do that to me. Now, it is the automotive industry, right? Now, why do I discuss that industry so much? I'm going to tell you guys why. There's no subscription industry prolific. See, you gonna get in trouble. You talking about sub industry or subsect. Don't do that. It's not no major subscription industry. Now I will put you in timeout, but I appreciate all my brother. No love. See, actually, Easy said auto first, but I was allowing you guys to explore and think it out. Okay. Now, why do I discuss the auto sector? Why? Why is it so important to discuss? Why does it weigh so heavy on the economy? Do you guys know why? That's right, Lauren. I did see that earlier. However, I want to allow everybody to get the thoughts out because y'all be cheating, looking at other people's comments and be like, I'm going to cheat after them. Ain't going to be no cheating over here. Ain't going to be no cheating. No, 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 no. Now, I'm not going to build the suspense. I'm going to tell you why it's an important industry to pay attention to. And by the way, I'm a little congested. And so I'm a little stuffed up, so my nose is a little stuffy and all that. So it is what it is. So if you guys can hear that in my voice, just ignore it. Okay. This is why it's important. What are everybody's three major expenses? Okay. Three major expenses. Can you guys list them? It doesn't have to be in order, but list the three major expenses that you guys have every month. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay. We have our housing expense, we have our transportation expense, and we have food expenses. Those are typically the top three most expensive things that we deal with, right? Okay. However, some of y'all live life in mansions and things like that, and you guys have different things that cost more. You got your monthly, if you buy in a bunch of purses a month, they may cost more. But let's stick to the norm: housing, transportation, and food. These particular sectors are very, very important to the individual consumer. There are other areas in life where we don't have to buy those things for years, right? But the thing is, it's important in that housing, in that food, you see transportation. So, in order for us to get a feel on the markets and start to see where it's stabilizing and things like that, what you'll find is we're not seeing a lot of bankruptcies. You remember back when Ford was one of the very few companies that sustained decently when the last market crash happened? You guys know General Motors had to basically say, "Hey, we going bankrupt," and they struggled a lot. Of course, you know government does their support. What you saw was Ford end up losing a major asset to their business to sustain, right? And let me tell you now, the major asset that Ford had to let go was a luxury brand. Do you guys know which luxury brand that Ford had to let go when they were struggling to survive way back in the early days? Do you guys know what brand that was? Mhm. Uh-huh. So, some people say Jaguar, which is one of them, and the other one that everybody loves is Land Rover. They had to let go of those very, very prominent brands. And people don't know Ford is really good at making luxury vehicles. They're really good at it. But in order to sustain business, they had to sell off Rover, Jaguar, to another company, which happens a lot. When you in distress, somebody swoops in, and what they do is they buy your distressed assets. Now, they end up selling to a company that's in another country. What is a weird name? What was it called? It's an Indian company. Oh, yeah, it was Tata Motors. That's the one, right? They end up they listen, remember, distressed assets. Jaguar. Did I say Jaguar, Lauren? Don't make fun of me. I told you I am congested. Okay, so you're not allowed to make fun of me when I'm working through my little bit of sickness. Okay, because you don't want to do it to me. Don't do it now. Once we start seeing bankruptcies in that industry, once we start seeing consolidation in that industry, it will give us a major sign because those are very, very important industries for us on a day-to-day basis. If we're able to purchase a vehicle, if it's out of control for the consumer, all these things absolutely matters. And then you will see which businesses can sustain. Now, this is my humble opinion, but this whole strike is going to have a huge impact on the bottom line. And this is really just my thought. It may, depending on how long it goes, it may trigger a recession in that industry. And I mean a really, really bad one, which some companies will never be heard of again because they're going to have to sell off and go away. So that's what I'm looking for in that industry, right? Now, as you guys know, that industry in particular, I don't know who owned Sab before. I look, Joe. Oh, you my guy. I ain't got no Sab. I walk everywhere. I can't even afford cars. Okay, so I only know the cars that I see on a day to day basis. All right, don't judge me. All right, out here we got electric scooters. All right, so don't judge me at all. I don't know, Joe O. Where you? I think Joe O is in another country anyway. Over here judging me for not having one of those Land Rovers because I like to walk everywhere with my nice feet. Yes, I have nice feet, by the way. Clean fingernails and nice feet. Okay, they're not tiny feet, but they're nice feet. Okay, now one day your feet gonna be all. See, you know what? I'm gonna be nice today. I'm gonna be nice today. But that's what I want you guys to be looking for, right? Keep an eye out on that sector. If you start to see some people struggling, you start to see profits drop. You're starting to see Aaron out there wrestling with city bikes. No wind chime. I don't actually. I love walking. It keeps my exercise levels. And I walk a lot, by the way. I walk a lot, by the way. So it is what it is. But that is a sector, that is the industry that I want you guys to pay attention to. Once you start seeing that, it will really open you guys' eyes and be like, wow, okay, now we're starting to see where the bottom out is going to start to happen. So that's the industry I want you to keep an eye on. Now, I want to discuss the UAW's Shan Fain, okay? I want to discuss the thought process, a little bit of his strategy and things like that. So we are going to play a little bit of video from the UAW themselves. Okay. Let me speed it up a little bit. I don't want to get no troubles. All right. Yes, I like when I'm a little bit, larger next to the media thing there. Let's dive in.
7 a.m. on Monday, October 9th, nearly 4,000 workers at Mack Trucks walked out on strike. The night before, they voted down a tentative agreement with the company.
Agreements get voted down. It's part of the process. There's only one enemy in this situation, and that's the company, and it always is. You've basically empowered the bargaining committee to go back to the table and demand more.
We had 2 informational meetings with the members to hear their voice and what their issues was with the master and the local.
Last year, we got killed with inflation. And I know that money is there for COLA. We got to get it back on the table.
You have to be secure not only in your work, but in your retirement too.
You have to be secure in your work, in your retirement too. I really want to discuss retirement more in depth, but I'm going to save that for a different show. Walking is a great time to think. I do all my best thinking while I'm walking, Kuma. And in the private room where the gentlemen go for their peace and what's it called? Peace and serenity. Yeah, that's where we go when we want to just think. Everybody that knows the men where they go and hide at. So the men go hide there and then they walk. Well, the ones that like to walk. Or they go in their car. The ones that have nice cars dip off in their car and they get to thinking.
And the extra $1,000 that they're giving us to 401k is not going to cut it.
We should be at 40 hours and that's it. Anything after that should be paid overtime. That's how it's been. That's how
You send a powerful message. 73, not just in this facility, across the entire Mack Trucks, all facilities.
Can we just be honest? All right. Anybody wearing glasses to us has to be like super serious. Yeah, man, we're not going to stand for this anymore. I just trust somebody with glasses to get the job done. Not necessarily to hurt nobody, but I think get the job done, look over all the paperwork, and not miss nothing. So I think it's important that glasses become a staple and a symbol of leadership and strong-minded individuals. Who doesn't love a good pair of glasses?
A lot of people are afraid to call off sick because we have a point system. Oh my God, I have so many points. I'm going to get a day suspension or I'm going to lose my job. That's wrong. People get sick. People deserve to have a sick day.
We would be in a lot better shape if we had cost of living adjustments. I don't think that ever should have been taken away. That's the protection that we need to provide for our families. I have kids myself, so I wanted that to be in the contract.
And Mack can afford it. Mack Trucks is owned by Volvo Group. Volvo Group makes most of.
Now, there's a request for the cost of living adjustments. I don't know. I don't know what I think about the cost of living adjustments being agreed to upon contracts. Whose job is it to manage their cost of living? The company's job or your job to manage your cost of living? It's a really good question, but I know what you guys are going to say.
Its money off of this drug.
Let's get it forward in here.
Family, today we're going to take a closer look at where things stand in bargaining with the big three.
Mm-hmm.
In the past 24 hours, we've got new offers from 2 of the 3 companies. So despite all the bluster about how much the companies have stretched, there's clearly still room to move. But there's also a lot going on across our union, not just in the big three. This week, nearly 1,000 UAW members walked out on strike at 3 casinos here in Detroit as part of the Detroit Casino Council. During the pandemic, these workers barely got a raise, so they've launched the first ever wall-to-wall casino strike.
Y'all striking casinos now? Y'all striking casinos. So now y'all striking against casinos. The place where people go to throw their money away. Y'all want to strike against the casinos. I guess y'all have that right. You have that right to strike against the casinos. However, 1,000 members, y'all got a lot of members. Dang, that's a lot of people. That is a lot of people. 1,000 members, casino life. Well, it's within your rights. Feel free to. Now, they did not get a raise during the pandemic. And I'm slurring that word on purpose, by the way. Well, a lot of companies probably couldn't afford to get no raise. That's just my humble opinion. I don't think they could afford it.
Yesterday, we joined those members, along with Blue Cross Blue Shield UAW members on strike and Big Three UAW members on strike. Secretary Treasurer Margaret Mock and Vice President Mike Booth told the crowd that this isn't just about one industry or one workplace. It's about the whole working class finally standing up to corporate greed. Now,
let me just say this on the big screen. I 100% am supportive of the pandemic. Yeah, you like that? I'm a 100% in support of workers standing up against corporate greed. I 100% support it. Whether you win or not, that's on you. But I support it 100%. I think the workers should stand up for their rights, whatever that may be. And if they don't believe they're getting paid fairly, then they should not work. I don't disagree with that. But you have to take the consequences that come with that. If you do not want to work, you have to take the consequences of not working. And that's going to be a hefty price to pay, in my humble opinion. But I definitely believe you should stand up and fight for what you believe. But what is considered corporate greed, Lauren says? To be, in my humble opinion, I don't believe there's a such thing as corporate greed, personally, right? I think you can make one-off cases where, like, this person was greedy when they're breaking laws and going to jail for a bunch of years and stuff like that. I would agree. If you're breaking a bunch of laws year after year, you finally get caught and then you're pretty much about to go to prison. Yeah. That's a high level of corporate greed. But if your company is just successful, you generate more and more money every year because whatever you're offering to the public, to the market, I don't see that as corporate greed. But that's just my opinion. A lot of you guys see corporate greed as how much money somebody has. So we look at it differently. Y'all look at people money in their pockets and go, you have enough money, stop it. I don't look at it that way. So it's contingent upon how each person views it.
Sunday night, the master contract will expire, covering 1,100 workers at General Dynamics in Region 1, Region 2B, and Region 9. At a time when there's endless money for war, somehow there's still no money for the working class. And shamefully, General Dynamics won't even agree to make Veterans Day a paid holiday.
Now, I'm sorry, that's not the best comparison. Having money for battles, that money is paid by us, the taxpayers. And the government uses that money to go and do whatever they think is necessary to maintain their position and power in the world. That ain't got nothing to do with corporations. They ain't got nothing to do with them. And they don't have endless money, by the way, Mr. Shan Fain. What happens is they just spend, and at some point, there's going to be a problem. But it's not endless. There's a price to pay for everything. But I don't think that was the right comparison. Even though it's fair use, general dynamics, and I get the defense aspect of it. But no, I disagree, my friend.
Despite 25% of their workforce being military veterans, they're back 100 committees to talk about how we can do things differently, fight harder, and win bigger. The bargaining team met with Mac this week, and the company basically said they just wanted to rearrange the deck chairs and try to get a revote. But the members have already spoken. The council said no, and we expect Mac to come back with something real and quick.
Now, I just want you guys to see that he wears glasses, so he's probably a really good union president. I actually think what Shan Fain is doing is really powerful. This is, to me, this is one of those once-in-a-lifetime opportunities when it comes to the auto industry, because when you have the power, you must utilize the position of power in this small window of opportunity, because all these auto companies have to shift over. They have to make the switch over from the legacy brand. They have to shift over to EVs. They have to do it. And they cannot do it right now without the people. They don't have the money. They don't have the They cannot do it without the people. And so the people are in the strongest position to get their demands met. They could arguably stop working at all, and it would destroy a lot of these companies. It would destroy them, especially because they would end up getting temp workers, and that affects business. But at the end of the day, it would destroy them. A lot of these companies won't survive. So they need to get the deal done. Let's be clear. They know they need to get it done, but they may be able to hold out a little bit longer because they got more money to pay their bills every month than most workers who are probably check to check. Good benefits, all that don't mean nothing. They don't have great spending habits. No matter what industry people are in, they're not really good with their managing of their money. So in that aspect, I look at it like this. Should Shan Fain just come to an agreement, or should they continue to hold out? What will be the ramifications of the employees every time they're not getting their paycheck? Yes, we understand that they have a fund that has a couple, I don't know, was a couple $100 million in it. I don't remember the amount, right? They had a lot of money in the fund, but we know how fast that money can spend when you're covering a whole bunch of people. So I want you guys to do me a favor. Can you guys look up how much money does Shan Fain make? Look it up for me. If you do not mind, go ahead and look up how much money does Shan Fain make. Go ahead and look it up. I have a feeling he makes a good amount of money. Probably not enough. Who's going to pull the number for me? Now, I'm going to say it's somewhere around 150, 200,000, maybe 250. Somebody pull that number for me. Ah, excellent. Mr. Harrison, $187,000 roughly. Lauren Mack comes with a much higher number, $350,000. Now, I don't know which one of you have the more correct salary that Shan Fain generates, but I know 187,000 is probably somewhere around the industry standard. But he could be making 350. I don't know. Bear says 187. So we got 2 for 187. Y High says 475K. Y'all can't be throwing no random numbers. I need the numbers that Mr. Fain is generating. Okay, now Bear doubles back and says 347. See, this is why you got to trust Lauren, because y'all giving me all these random numbers, and she gave me an emphatic 350, so I'm going to trust her. Let's just say it's $350,000. That is a lot of money for a president of a union. Well-deserved money, though, I would say. Well-deserved money, I would say. Now, let me ask you guys this. While the union members are struggling, right, trying to get through their day-to-day process, right, they're the ones ultimately that are going to get hurt in this process. The longer and longer it stands, and the businesses will be hurt as well, right? Do you think that Shan Fain should make that much money? Do you think that's too much money? Do you think he should be making closer to what the people of the union are making, which would put him on par to, how would I say, feel what the other people are feeling, or to be on the front lines with them? What do you guys think? Well, let's see. I guess in the poll that we said, 57% said the customers are more important than the workers. That is very interesting. Dustmaster says he should be actually making more money than that. Really? More money? Well, I would probably say that he should be making more money. And this is my thought process on it, right? If you have someone fighting on your behalf, if you have someone trying to get the most money possible, let me fix this. If you have someone trying to get the most money possible for their union members, to me, it makes sense. It makes sense that you be in the strongest position, right? So if Shan Fain is making, let's just say, the same amount of money as the union members, right? Well, he has a family too. So that puts him at a disadvantage. What it does is it lets them say, hey, you can't afford to hold out much longer, so we're going to need you to meet us a little bit closer. I think it actually puts you at a disadvantage. So, for example, if they come to him and say, look, this is the best deal you're going to get. We know you can't hold out much longer. You're making just as much money as the workers that you have in your union. And so that way you don't look like you're better than them. You look like someone that's amongst the people, a leader amongst the people. Because let's be honest, most people want poor leaders. They don't want rich leaders. Think about that. Martin was pretty much, they think he died broke, even though his influence was money. Malcolm, they say, he was poor. They say he died broke, even though his influence was money. I agree, J-Hub. The thing is, you want to empower your leader to walk into all those negotiations in a power position. They can't manipulate him because he's empowered. So he's not going to go in there, strings on him, saying, hey, look, I need to hurry up and get this done because I got things to do too. I got a family to feed. He's in a power position. He can fight fire with fire. He can say, that's not enough money for us. But the downside is this. If he fights for everything that you guys want and do the best he can to get the best deal, he's going to be scrutinized regardless, by the way. Because if he does something historical, right, and I mean literally bankrupt pretty much the whole industry, because it's a high probability that they're in a powerful position enough where these companies cannot sustain a lot of these replacements and adjustments, that they could pretty much bankrupt a lot of the industry. Let's just be honest. But that would leave people out of a job. So it would do the people that he's serving a disservice. However, it is the most powerful position that he can be in because he's in a position to do so. Even though we got temp workers and we believe they can help the company bleed slowly, it's going to hurt. Because if they was just going to replace people with these temp workers, and they wouldn't even need to be at the negotiating table. So that part you need to understand. So I believe he should actually make more money so he can be more empowered to go into these meetings and stand firm and not cower down and get the demands of the people. However, the people will be the ones to suffer if they're not able to come to an agreement. He will not suffer. He won't suffer. He may not get reelected as the leader again, which to a lot of people, they really, after you made that much money a few years in a row, you're like, hey, I was looking for my exit anyway, a lot of them, right? So that's the downside. So I believe he's doing the right thing. I believe he's fighting those companies, and he should. Even though I'm pro business owner over the employees personally. But I understand that this is the best position that they're going to be in to fight for these needs. So I'm interested in watching how it continues to play out. That's just the truth. Now, let's talk a little bit about the importance of the customer versus the worker. Now, we talk a little bit about inflation. We'll talk a little bit about pricing. I want you guys to tell me, how does one determine how much money one gets paid? $18, $20, $40. How do you determine how much money someone gets paid? My best guess is most of you will say the market decides. But let's assume you have created a new industry, right? How do you then decide how much to pay a worker? How do you then decide, right? This is the complicated part that you guys don't understand. So, my guy J Hub says the lowest amount you can get them to accept. Okay. Now, Misty Blue says demand, which normally I would agree with that, Misty, when it comes to the demand in market. But however, when you create a new sector, when you create something new and there's no direct competition, there's no market for you to say, this is how much I'm going to pay you, because you don't know. So how do we determine that? And I'm going to have to agree with J Hub. What you do is you find something that's cost effective to your business. And of course, you follow all federal laws, state laws, but you pay them the lowest amount you can get them to accept. That's what I would do. And that's what most smart business people would do, especially when you're in an industry and you don't really have comparisons, right? Now, this is something I really want to ask you guys, and I want your honest opinion. Do not lie. This is your honest opinion. I want to think about how I'm going to say this. Do you think that businesses are doing customers a favor? Now, this is my opinion. I think businesses are doing customers a favor by not giving their employees raises. What do you think about that? I hear a lot of you guys say they deserve more money, pay them more. But my humble opinion is by corporations, by bosses, CEOs, whatever y'all want to call them, by them not paying their employees more, they give their customers the best price. So with that being said, it means this. Y'all can't say y'all pro workers, y'all support workers, y'all want them to get a raise, and the companies don't care about y'all. However, if they get a raise, then you, the people that support those workers getting a raise, have to pay for their raise. I know this is not conventional thinking, by the way. You guys think how you think. If a company gives somebody a raise, they gonna raise the prices. It's directly reflective. So if you don't believe me, test it out. Go anywhere where you saw that there was a raise given to their employees and tell me if those prices cost more. Since Dustmaster strongly disagrees, prove it. If you don't believe me, find anywhere where the employees got a wages increase, but they did not increase the prices of their product. Because y'all gonna pay for it. Now, right or wrong, if you want workers to get paid more, you got to pay for it. So don't tell J-Hub to take, hey, J-Hub, you make too much money, just pay them out of your pockets. No. If I make a product that has high enough demand, has pricing power, and you guys really like it, sorry. Oh, I agree. High operation costs will drive the price up 100%. I think that if you want, now me, I'm telling y'all, don't ask for no raises. Well, I take that back. Go ahead and ask for raises. I'm telling everyone you shouldn't be advocating for them to ask for a raise, right? So meaning you shouldn't be going somewhere else and say those workers deserve more money. Because when you request them to make more money, the bosses go, no problem, we'll pay them more. But remember, they're resistant to paying them more money. Why? This is why they're resistant. One, they're getting the same productivity, by the way. If you work in the auto industry and you build cars, whatever it is, the motion that you're doing typically is the same motion you did last year. You didn't increase your productivity. You're not doing a different job. Your jobs stay the same year after year, pretty much. So I'm going to give you more money for you to do the same work. Now, only in the working industry does that make sense. I'm going to give you more money to do the same work. Oh, I assure you, Dustmaster, that if you have price increases, well, it's not a direct correlation. What I'm saying is if you ask for the wages to be increased, they're going to raise the prices. They don't have to be directly correlated. So meaning they could raise the prices for a different reason, not even to give them a raise. But if they do give them a raise, they are definitely going to raise prices. So that part I'm sticking pretty much steadfast to. But you're right. They don't have to be a direct correlation that a price is raised. It's because they gave them a raise. No, I'm saying if you do get a raise, they're going to raise the prices. Okay. So the point of that is the reason why the bosses are so determined, no, and they delay giving increases because they know they have to pass that cost on to the consumers. So by default, when you guys advocate for workers getting more money, you are saying to yourself, I'm going to pay them to get this money. I, the customer, am going to pay these employees their wage increase. If you don't believe me, just do the math. If you don't believe me, do the math. Anywhere in any industry, Google it, whatever you want. I don't care what industry it is. If you saw wage increases, you saw price increases. That's just the facts of it. If you see that happens, you, the person advocating, is going to pay more. So I'm telling you, the business owner is more in favor of you, the consumer, than you understand. You think they're mean. Oh, they're being mean. They're making all this money. They're not being mean because business is business. They trying to protect their customers because they don't want to lose business. Because think about it. When prices go up, y'all hesitate to spend money. Oh, man, they rose prices again. I'm about to cancel my subscription. Oh, man, they rose prices again. I only can get one of those. It hurts the business because prices go up, customers get turned off. So they try to delay doing that. But at some point, they're just going to have to give the increase and raise the prices, and you guys offset it. So that's what you have to understand. Y'all really paying for their increase. Look at it like this, and this is wild type crazy, by the way. When you get an increase, so-called livable wage, whatever you want to call it, whatever the company gives you an increase, that money that they increased for you, you gonna have to use that money as a consumer to go pay for another working class person in their business. So let me give you the example. Let's say you work at Walgreens. Let's just say you're a clerk or whatever position is there, right? Whatever the register guy is, I don't know. A manager, I don't care, right? And they give you an increase. Now you take the money that you get and you go to the grocery store. In said grocery store, what happens is they gave their employees increases. You walk in and you look at the price of, let's just say, chicken. I know y'all love chicken. Watermelons. I don't know. Lettuce, milk. And you see a price increase and you go, Now you look at the cereal, because I know y'all love cereal. I know y'all love hot chips and all those kind of. You look at the price increase and you go, these prices went up. Y'all raise is paying for their raise. Just think about it. Spend your time really breaking it down. They give you a raise, you gonna use your money that you made a little bit more money to go pay for the raises that they made in another industry or another job. They just gonna pass the cost on to you. So if you advocate to give people more money, you gonna have to pay for it. Now, how much do you want to advocate getting people more money now, knowing you're the one that's going to pay for it? And the reason that I asked you that question is how much do you want to advocate, knowing you got to pay for it, is because of this video that I think, I'm not going to say it went viral, but it's been circling around social media. And I know you guys are familiar with the video, so I'm going to pull it for you guys. And it's this one here.
I should be getting a tip because of how much work.
No,
this
you
was.
don't deserve
Yes,
a tip. You
I do.
certainly don't.
Why do I not?
You're crushing the ramen noodles for one.
Now, mind you, she said, I should be getting a tip. The woman goes, you shouldn't be getting a tip. Interesting. Let it play out.
Yes, the ramen noodles are perfectly fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, they're not.
They're perfectly
I just saw
fine.
you crush them.
They're not crushed. And why does it matter anyways? I'm
You're
taking
not
it back
good
to
at
the
your
store. They're
job,
not for
so
you
why would
anymore.
you get a tip?
They're not for you anymore. I just told you why I should get a tip. I had to pack all of this in my car and bring it to you guys and unpack it. You did not pay me. You paid the
I paid
delivery
for this
app.
food, okay?
You paid the delivery app. You did not pay me.
Now, mind you, there's a conflict right here, right? The young lady dressed in her track suit, discussing with the consumer. She says, you did not pay me, which I think that's cap, right? You paid the app or something like that. All right, she paid you. Listen, if she didn't give you any tip, you would have got paid. So she paid you, right? So she's upset because she's doing this business to get a tip. Tips are solely relying on the consumer. Now, I really want you guys to play this thought process in your mind, but who do you think is right in this moment? Think about it. So the young lady, she didn't get a tip. I guess the app, I don't know what company she's doing this through. She didn't get a tip, so she wants to take the product back to whatever place she was at and return it because she's upset that the tip was not given to her. And the lady's saying, what are you talking about? Give you a tip. I paid for this. It's mine. And the young lady is so upset. She's adamant about taking it back so that that lady gets nothing because she refuses to give her a tip.
Do you not understand that? No, I'm taking all of this back.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
you guys can get your refund, and another delivery driver can deal with you guys. I'm not going to deal with.
No, you're stealing.
No, I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it.
Now, I want you to listen to that, right? Think about it. She said, I'm going to take this back, and you can get another delivery driver to do the job. You know what that really is? Competition. What she's saying is, I'm controlling my value and my pricing. And if you don't like it, I'm going to return my service. Pay attention to this, right? Because it sounds so much different when a corporation does it as to when we would call this person a independent contractor, right? But y'all would see her as a worker, but she's most likely an independent contractor in these type of gig jobs, right? She's telling you, this is my value. This is what I think I'm worth for the service that I'm doing. And if you don't pay it, I'm taking it back and leaving. Now, maybe that's within her power. Maybe she'll get fired. I don't know. But she's determining the value of her service. Not any different than a corporation doing it. But you guys don't typically like corporations. You tend to like people. Your choice. But she's very upset that she's not getting paid. She's a little upset about it. Now, let's see what else she got to say here.
How do we know you're going to take it back to the store? How do we know you're going to take it back to the store?
You'll get a receipt. Trust me.
No,
you'll get your
I
receipt.
won't.
Yeah,
Okay.
you will. I'm gonna go take it back to the store. I don't need all this stuff, so I don't have a reason to have it. So I'm gonna take it back to the store.
$400
I don't
that
care
you're
how much
stealing.
it was.
You're stealing.
Now, the woman is upset with the service that she's receiving because she believed, and this is the interesting thing about negotiations. See, she paid for a service over $400. And now she's been told that the service that she pays for is being denied. So she's a customer, and that lady is she's the service, and she's denying her. Very interesting how this plays out. This happens a lot more than you guys think. You guys will let me know who you think in the right at the end.
I'm not stealing it. I'm taking it back to the store.
No,
What
you
don't
are.
understand?
You are. You're gonna go
Clearly,
to
you're not
jail.
understanding because I'm telling you right now, it's going back to the store. You guys can get your money back, and you can hire another driver.
You can't just take.
Go
things
ahead
that
and drive
don't
another
belong to you.
driver.
No, you can't take.
Go
things.
ahead and drive. Get another driver to.
You can't
bring all
take
this
things
back
that
to
don't
you
belong
guys.
to you. You clearly don't understand how this. To confirm the order, it's my property.
That doesn't
Or do
matter.
you not
guys
understand
can
what
just
property
get your
is?
refund back so that I don't have to deal with you guys anymore.
No, you're gonna lose your job.
No, and at this point, I'd rather lose my job than have to deal with you guys. At this point,
So you're
I'll just
gonna
give
load all of it up.
I'm gonna load it all back
You
up
are
and
so
get you guys
illogical.
and get you guys' return.
I feel like this is just a waste of time. You're just wasting your time.
I'd
That's
rather
probably
waste
why.
my time to deal with you guys at this point. I'd rather you guys deal with another delivery person, and then you can see that they're gonna have an issue as well because
We're not gonna
you're not
tip.
tipping. Then you're gonna have
I
an
mean,
issue with them
tipping
as
is
well.
optional
And
for a
this
reason.
is gonna
If-
become a cycle. It's gonna keep.
If
keep
they
happening.
wanted it to be like mandatory, why didn't they make this like
I
a
don't
thing?
know. I don't make the rules for these apps. I just work
I mean,
for it.
then
and
why
I'm
don't you
wondering
complain
why
to them
guys
and
don't
just give us
tip.
our food?
We do complain. Have you not been hearing about the strikes? You guys
Then
not watch the
do
news?
a better job.
What?
Do a better job.
I did a great job actually. I delivered all this stuff to you. I loaded it, unloaded it, and I got it here early. So I don't deserve a tip. That's how you show your appreciation.
Well, clearly, you don't deserve a tip. You're not even giving me my groceries.
Well, no, I'm not because you guys didn't tip me. Like, what are you understanding?
You don't deserve a tip. It's optional.
Okay, I
and
don't
just
deserve-
because it's optional doesn't give you the right.
Great,
to
you said I
take
don't
my
deserve a tip, so now I'm
groceries.
gonna return it back, and you guys
No,
can get
you're
your money
literally
back.
taking my groceries.
I'm going to stop right there, and I want to hear you guys' thought process about that. Who's in the wrong? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong? Who's in the right? That's what I have to know. Hey, Miss Lauren. Miss Lauren says, salute to the real content creators being able to engage with the people while keeping the flow of the show is a skill, give talent. AO is one of the best to do it. Thank you. I appreciate that, Lauren. Means a lot. Now, the sad part about that is what you're watching, and this is why it's so important that you guys try to refrain from being overly emotional and look at it like this. That young lady in the tracksuit or whatever she was wearing at work. let's put it back on screen, right? Whatever she was wearing at work. She is technically, think about this. She is technically a business. Herself as an independent contractor is the business, right? That woman is the customer / consumer. Now, who's in the wrong on this? Who's in the wrong? That's what I want to know. Who's in the wrong?
Aaron,
What up, bro?
I deliver to companies day in and day out, and I don't get no tip. When have tips become mandatory? That's insane. That delivery driver's in the wrong. I'm not tipping you. You got paid for your services. That's the contract you signed up for, right? She 1099. That's our own business. I'm not tipping you. I'm not.
Now I know you
She's
from the South.
totally in the wrong.
I know you from the South. Don't cuss on my show. I did a whole hour and 13 minutes without no curse words.
30 third.
Don't do it. Now, I'm not even sure in this moment who I actually think is right because I'm conflicted. Because at what point do you have a right to rescind your services? Because technically services were not rendered complete. So can you take it back and say, I don't want to work here? Or it's very complicated when you really think about it, because I do think that tipping is optional. However, I don't believe people that work in a tip position believe tips are optional. I've never seen people really act like tips are optional. They genuinely believe tips are mandatory.
Okay, so look, I got this solution. All y'all complaining about this tip, right? So whatever company she's 1099 and contracting her business through, you should be able to put in your description for your delivery service tips are required. And the consumer should be able to read that in your thing. And they can decline you bringing their shit down. I'm sorry. Their stuff done.
I know
you should write that. You should write that in your description. Then tips are required. The customer should be allowed to pick and choose who deliver their stuff. And let's see how that works out.
Prolific. What are your thoughts?
Tips aren't required, bro.
I feel like the pay needs to be. I feel like needs to be. Well, I kind of blame the company because you don't know we don't know their take rate, right? So I know that plays a huge factor when it comes to a driver payout. So I kind of look at it like that. I think they should optimize, like optimize the routing. Calculate how much pertaining to time. I think she's doing Instacart, if I'm not mistaken.
Something like that.
Yeah, I just feel like they need to really like optimize that with the routing, calculate, how much, of course the time and all. I know Amazon does it, when it comes to like delivering the package, right? Well, like Amazon Flex, right?
But now here's the complicated part. If you believe it's the company's fault, right? I want you, and this is like I'm trying to create the image and the thought, right? That woman is a independent contractor. She is her own company, right? Think about this, right? She's her own company. Kobe, is that you? You gotta put something in the back chat so I know that that's you, bro. That that you would say that way I can narrow it down. Don't say that. No, tell me something that you would say that would limit it to just you. That's one of the ways I keep track. And shout out to Granville for trying to maintain his Southern accent. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. And of course, Black Gold Moolah, that's my guy, says, do you go to Roof Chris and spend $400 and not tip? That's not the question. But I actually like that response. And let me give you the thought process. Okay, that's Granville. So this is the question. If you're saying it's on the company, it's their fault, right? Switch the company for her because she took the position.
Right.
She knew what she was getting into. So why can't you look at her? Okay, I got you, Kobe. Why can't you look at her and say she took the job, she knew what she was getting herself into, the same way you would look at a company and say the thought on them, why not do that to her?
Well, if it's in the job description, of course it's clear as day, right? But I kind of look at it like I think companies need to start. I think they need to implement some kind of like range, not some ridiculous, right? Cause that would kind of like deter the customer away. That's like if you order a package, from Amazon, right? And it's or like Instacart, for example, right? And it could be like five items, right? And if you're given the choice, if you gave that independent contractor that choice, to provide it, I think it would be outrageous and deter the customer from buying the product. What you think?
And you muted, man.
Mute.
I am on mute. That's actually probably a good thing. Kobe, what are your thoughts before I respond?
So I didn't hear your response. I was actually gonna ask you yours first, but yeah.
That's fair. That's fair. So what I'm trying to get people to get their mind wrapped around is this. This woman feels entitled to a tip that we all agree is optional. And she agreed to doing that job. Why don't we hold that? Because think about it. One could argue her demanding that tip is like asking for a raise. If you guys support people asking companies for raises after they've already agreed on wages, already agreed on pay, why wouldn't y'all support her demanding a tip for something she believes is she's deserving of and is worth? Because honestly, we can't really determine what somebody is worth.
Okay, so now I hear what you're saying. Okay, so I heard all of y'all points. I think, and this is my opinion, I did all of those jobs like Instacart, Ship, Postmates, like I did all of that years ago, bro. And so never asked for a tip. I believe but I got hella tips, and most of my tips was just my service. This person is entitled, ungrateful. Bro, I had an Instacart lady 2 weeks ago. I gave her a $5 tip, right? She drops my stuff off. She messed up my order, and then she texted me once she left and said, "You only gave me $5? Like, really? Like, I have 4 kids." I'm dead serious, bro. And so in my mind, like, this is the thing. I initially kind of looked at the text because she had completed my order, but I didn't respond. I was kind of shocked because I never had nobody text me like after they dropped my stuff off. Like, what? So anyway, entitled. And again, bro, to me, tips to me is based off of your customer service, right? Are you communicating? Are you, going above and beyond to give that extra service? That's typically what I've experienced. The best tips come from is when it's organic, and the people that ask for it or they're thirsty for it, like, I just feel like it's too much. You need to go get a better paying job if that's the case. But yeah, like, it's not something that is guaranteed or something that you should do. I think it's based off your service, and that's just my opinion. So
I think it's the purchase price, Aaron, to be honest with you. Did the lady in the video say she spent $400? You know what I'm saying? I feel like companies should like implement, past a certain purchase price, it needs to be implemented within the price, I feel like that's the best approach to doing that. Now, if it's 20, 30 or $40, $50, okay, I get that,
Let me ask you this. As a company, does it make sense for you to put a cap? All right, remember, as a company, your job is customer acquisition. You are trying to get your prices to meet the market and competitively, and you also want to be able to gain market share, more customers. So why would I want to put a limit on my customers and say, if you spend over this X amount of money, I want to put a clause in there that may deter you from working with my business, as opposed to saying, because the way you're saying that is that, okay, let me phrase it like this. If you believe that, because I don't believe it should be the amount, I believe it should be this. If there's a certain amount, then you get no tip. Because if you're saying that you want to, it's mandatory that you pay a tip for a certain amount, then I would argue if you pay a certain amount, then that difference should be paid to the driver, and there should be no tip at all. Because how do you put a clause in there and then they still demand a tip? I don't know how you can actually do that effectively.
But
Can you
here's the
agree with
thing,
me?
Eric.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Kobe.
I was just gonna say I think it's hard to put a like a fixed tip rate because it depends on the length of the ride, it depends on how far the person has to drive, and it depends on the length of the order. So it's hard to have a fixed rate. I think how they add in service and fees like they do on those orders as an additional cost. So they usually do the whatever the order is plus your delivery cost plus your service and fees. Them services and fees are like $5, $6, $7. I think the customer, whoever the driver is, should get a percentage of that as like a fixed rate of whatever that is. They should get a percentage of that plus whatever we decide to tip because they don't make that much on these orders. They make probably on a one order maybe $8, $9 an hour to drive back and forth. So,
Kobe, your audio is breaking up, bro. You got to adjust wherever you're at by the mic or something.
I feel like
why are we trying to put clauses in there for extra?
Because
why are we trying to put clauses in there for extra, bro?
Because we're entitled. We're entitled.
You got your flat rate, player. You got your flat rate. Now, if somebody want to give you a little bit on the top, thanking you for your services, then so be it. But how you gonna be entitled to other people's money? You complaining about you broke out here. It's hard doing your job. You don't know what that person going through that just ordered them $400 in groceries. That might be their only $400 to get through the month on them groceries you just brought up. That might be all they got for that money.
All right. Hold on, Granville. Let me get the podcast because he's been listening, so I want to get his thoughts. Go ahead, bro.
What's up, Granville?
Nah, I'm trying to cut podcast. Oh, damn. All right. My bad. You ain't start talking. What's that podcast?
Hey, hold on. Let me stunt real quick. Hey, Aaron, my jacuzzi tub ain't too loud, is it?
Nah, you good.
Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Nah, you in a koozie? You in a koozie talking to us right now on the panel? What is wrong with you, podcast?
Niggas don't be niggas don't be having the jacuzzi tubs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Niggas be at home in them last tubs.
You better not drop that computer in that tub, podcast.
Hey, check me out, Granville. You know what I'm
Oh,
talking about? You see the bubbles?
Hey,
You see the bubbles?
He got the
You see the bubbles?
He got the Drake.
Beans, you know you can't fit in that. Hey, Beans, you know you can't.
Exfoliating.
Beans, you know you can't fit in that, man. Stop it, man.
Hey, hey, that's racism. That is racism.
Stay focused on the show. Jesus Christ.
Okay. I just had to stunt real quick because you know they be calling me broken shit. So, first of all, everybody that is against this is wrong and conservative douchebags. Aaron, you already know. Aaron, you probably forgot, but we talked about this last year, and I told you when I worked at the limo service here, that's how they do it. So the limo service is 20% of whatever your bill is figured into your bill for gratuity.
But let me tell you why that's a difficult thing to place, because I'm glad you saw the video because I wasn't sure if you caught up to where we're at. The problem with when you make the comparison between the limousine and groceries is the groceries is a needs-based business. The limousine is a luxury business. So like the margins in luxury, if you go look for a quote from Bernard Arnold, right? He's the CEO of LVMH, right? He will tell you only in luxuries can you get these margins. So it's fair, but it's harder to make that assessment in the grocery land because the margins are not the same. So if I charge you, let's just say $500 for a limousine, right? And let's just say it only cost me $150 to get the job done. I have high margins there because you don't need no limousine. This is totally like luxury, etc., right? But the groceries, you probably need those. And here's the harder part. You're dealing with middle-class people or lower-class people who don't necessarily have the money to pay for these things. And if your argument is they should still pay, you agree with me that people should pay the workers the raise and not the company, because there's no way. I don't see a way that the company could pay for the drivers way? Okay, maybe I shouldn't say that first. How do you think the structure breakdown should be?
I think the higher the purchase, the lower the take rate.
So give me an example.
So if the lady spent $400, normally a company take, well, I'm just saying off of Uber, they might take about what, I did some research, like 21% of that purchase. I feel like it need to be a little lower, to be honest with you, retaining that kind of, purchase, right?
So let me tell you why I'm against it. The company still has to pay for the engineers,
right?
The cybersecurity, or like payment processing. They have a lot to pay for. So how much profit out of let's just say out of $10 of profit, like, and that's a really high margin, right? Out of $10 of profit, how much do you think that the company should see as going into their pockets and not paid to operations?
That's an unfair question.
Oh my gosh. Go ahead, podcast.
It is, because that's not how we have to live as what do they call it when you're not in the military?
Civilians?
Yeah, civilians. That's not how we have to live as civilians, right? So you go to work and you know how much money you're gonna make, right? And then you have to figure in what your bill's gonna be, rent, like all of them, not just some of them, all of them. You have to figure out what they is, and then you have to take care of that. Now I know that the quote unquote money people always say you should pay yourself first, but we know that that's not what people really do, right? People really be trying to get their bills out the way, you know what I'm saying, to make sure they ain't owing nothing. And then whatever money they got left, that's what money they got left, man. So if that's how civilians have to move, then because all these things that you say that the companies have as expenses,
yes,
it's more than one way though that they actually make money as well though.
So you don't know that yet, right? That's
okay. I don't know that yet, but
that's fair to make, because that's how you typically grow your business, is when you start to get other, right? But I'm saying legitimately, it's fair to say, if I have a company and I generate $10, right? How much of that should go to me out of the $10? That
20%.
So wait. Let me be clear so everybody understands. Out of $10, like let's say the cost of you making this delivery, me connecting with that customer, they spending whatever they make, I charge them $10, right? Now, not including my operational costs, whatever the case is, out of $10, right?
Yep.
How much do you think a person should get of profit for themselves for creating the company?
20%.
$2.50.
How much?
That's he's saying
$2.50.
Yeah, he's saying 25%. I'm saying 20%.
So you're saying a person should make 25% profit as the CEO or whatever the case is, right?
Yeah.
Out of that $10, out of the profit made, right?
Yep, 20%.
Yeah, this is insane to me, man. This is insane.
Well,
the company will never thrive. Y'all talking about companies that are always going to fail after 5 and 10 years, or probably earlier.
It's like they're trying to divide. It's like they're trying to
Wait, hold on. I'm thinking about it wrong, Aaron. You're talking about a CEO, because if that's what I pay myself 25%. But if you're talking about a company, so we're talking about the overall company, like Uber Eats, right?
Nope, he didn't say that. Nope. See, that's what I'm saying. Don't let
a major company like Uber Eats, right? Like we
no. Wait, Grant Bill. Right? No, you had it right the first time. Aaron was asking us about the person who created the business, not the business. Whoever the other person was that was just responding, he was responding to his feelings. What Aaron asked us was how much should that individual profit, not the business. That's why I said 20%.
So Aaron,
I don't think 20%.
So Aaron, I can go ahead.
Wait. Hold on. Lord. Do y'all know how much the average investment yields?
We go.
No one cares. Doesn't matter.
It's entitlement, podcast.
Matters.
It's entitlement. Even from the corporations, they're entitled. Everybody's entitled. We look at the we'll go ahead and look at the person who's asking for the tip and say, well, why she's entitled? She's entitled because that's our culture now. Everybody's entitled to something. The corporations are entitled to up their profits
Our
every
culture
single
is not.
year.
You can't say that. Our
Hey,
culture is not entitled. She's
I do have
entitled,
one
but
question. Wait, I
that's
do
not
have
our
one
culture.
question, y'all. Wait, I do have one question. Can somebody tell me this? So, because I didn't want to say nothing, but I actually didn't see the video. But with the grocery situation, are we saying that a person like not they pull up with their vehicle, you come out and get your groceries, you actually bring the groceries to them?
All right, so I'll play the video for you, podcast.
Yeah,
hey,
Because
Aaron, I would
y'all
like to
all over
answer
the
the
place,
question
man.
you just
Y'all all
asked.
over the place.
no, yeah, they are all over the place. I'll play the video for you in a second. The goal is to get a baseline. So
Yep.
y'all think somebody that creates a company should get 20 to 25% of the profit?
No, that's insane. I would
No,
never
I know.
start.
I
I would
don't
not.
think
Hold
that.
on. I would not start a company if that's like what? No.
If I was only getting 25% of all that I just built and all this infrastructure below me
But
that I've helped.
here's
Nah, I need
Hey,
42%.
If I
That's
got
why I said
$100,
four
you
dollars and
saying
fifty
that?
Be out
cents.
your
Hold
fucking
on.
mind.
So Aaron,
Well, that's what they
Entitlement.
to say that, but that's what every company is doing.
no,
You
it's
know,
about skill level. This is
hey,
why
Aaron,
y'all.
I
This
can
is
give
like
you an
that's what they
example.
doing.
all right, hold
When
That's
on.
the
McDonald's
problem.
got people, you know how much, how much McDonald's are paying people out here in Miami? They paying them $12.50, and they
Hey, Aaron, can I give you an
McDonald's.
example?
So yeah,
Yeah, and they're
that shit
destroying the
working
it's
country.
every
leverage,
day.
bro.
They're
They
destroying
don't
the
decide
country.
to
Keep
do it. They
on.
All
gonna
right,
find
guys,
somebody else.
stay focused. Y'all don't get distracted. The understanding of this is for people to understand just how much you think somebody that creates a company deserves to make as opposed to somebody that works for the company. This is the point of the social experiment right now.
So, Aaron, I want to say our startup is like in the same situation that the
Mhm.
example you just made.
Yep.
So with us, since we have a decentralized model,
Mhm.
we can take we can give the the driver the 80% of course profit, right?
Mhm.
Pertaining to our model. I can't speak for like anything that's centralized.
Well,
Okay, hold on.
I
Can I ask
mean,
Now, hold on. Watch
can I
this. Watch this.
just wanna
Watch
ask
this,
a quick
y'all.
question?
I got an article for you.
Okay,
What
go ahead.
is it's the article, right? It's
Mhm.
on Brex.com.
Sure.
A New York University report on U.S. margins revealed the average net profit margin is 7.71% across different industries.
Yep. You doing your research.
Because I don't just be talking out the side of my ass,
I,
Aaron. You notice that's why I told you 20%. That's why I'm saying if you could get to 20%, you're balling out of control. A good investment return would be 12%.
At
Yes.
And
least,
that's
yeah,
like
12%, 8
good.
to 12%, 8 to 12%.
Now, so that was the point I wanted you to understand is that these people are, in order for them to make that type of money, they must have an insanely good profit margin or insanely good amount of customers
True.
because they're selling at high values, right? So
and you
Don't
forgot
forget the
debt.
other part, Aaron. Don't forget the other part. A
Does
small,
anybody knows how
a
much debt Apple
a
has
small
right
number of
now?
employees.
all right, don't
That's why
let's
that's
not
why
get
truck drivers. That's why truck drivers can profit so much money because typically they're their only employer. They're their only employee.
okay. So the point of that is what entices you enough to start a business? How much money do you think is worth you starting a business? And this where it gets complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I start that business, right, I don't think that business has high profit margins, just to be honest with you.
What
Right.
business? Which business are you talking about?
The delivery, whatever that is,
That's a
Uber
fact.
Eats or
That's a
whatever
fact.
business, they don't have high profit margins.
Of course not. Of course not.
So
You mean in the beginning?
At
I
all,
mean,
in general.
period.
Yeah, in general.
Like, and if you
Yeah,
look
they
at
just
any,
now came into profit 3 years ago.
I
if you,
started that when it first dropped, so I know.
So they
yeah,
got small overhead then.
no, not
No, they
necessarily small overhead because it depends. We don't have to use Uber as an example, but if you just look at what company is bigger than Uber in the delivery space? What's the other company called?
DoorDash. DoorDash.
Right? Yeah,
DoorDash the biggest one.
yeah, they have a slightly more market share than Uber does, right? But the point of
Yeah.
it is, are they profitable?
Their burn rate is high.
Not right now.
I don't think their goal is to be profitable because they dropped another feature on their app where they pay people hourly up to like $25 an hour.
So
So like they don't even. I don't.
Every company's goal is to be profitable.
Right.
At what point do you want to become profitable?
That's not true. That's not true.
That is true. I ain't gonna lie, unlikely.
No, wait. Well, I mean, you could say that, but at that level, we don't know what their goal is because if you look at Uber's found, I mean, it's to be profitable, but at the end of the day, how much profit are they really making? Like you look at Uber, they just became profitable 3 years ago. DoorDash, I don't even think is profitable, and I think it's more of like a write-off for somebody that is way more richer than we can ever imagine. But
so
I think it's just a write-off, just a like a handout to the world. Here you guys go. A way to make money by delivering food, linking everything together. Here you go.
No owner does that.
I think, yeah, I believe people do
So
things
hold
for
on.
the
So
genes
unlikely,
of
if
it.
that's the case, if that's the case, why do they have delivery fees, service fees, all of these other fees? Monthly
Because, like, that's easy. Because, like Aaron O said, they have an infrastructure. That's all I have to say. There we go. That's your answer.
Well, unlikely
I'm
when
gonna tell
your
you
burn
something. I
rate
used
is
to do. I used to work for this restaurant, right? And I delivered food for them. That was all I did was deliver food for them, right? And the hourly was $8, right? And their whole thing was, yeah, we out here in the suburbs, so our customers tip good. And I gotta be honest,
right.
The white ones, they most certainly did. They most certainly did, bro. I can't even start. I don't give a damn if I was delivering to the trailer park white people. They
You ain't
did.
have to say this. You terrible. You ain't have to say
It's
this.
just the truth, bro.
Podcast, are you
It's
taking up
just
for
the
the
truth.
conservative douchebags right now?
You crazy right now.
I'm just being honest, right? The black ones, sometimes they did, and sometimes they get as $1.
I would say this.
Right?
Door.
Hold
Oh,
on.
my bad, bro. My bad.
So here's the thing, though. And I tried to tell them about what the limo service was doing. They had the same mindset that Aaron O was saying. They like, look, if we try to tax people this money, that's gonna make them not want to shop with us as much, right? They really only had one other restaurant that was competing with them because of the fact that they had fish and chicken. So they was Red Snapper, and then you had look, I can't even remember the name. Oh, JJ Fish. So that was also fish and chicken. So it was only them two spots, right? So my whole thing was, look, bro, a lot of these times, 60% of these orders, I'm going to black people, and they ain't tipping me, right? Sometimes I got to get out, walk the food up the stairs, catch elevators, all this other stuff, wait on them for 10 minutes because they handicapped and they still don't want to tip me. Like it's a waste of my gas. Forget my time. It's a waste of my gas. So to me, I think it's okay. Somebody mentioned earlier about if it's smaller. Think about it. If the order is smaller, you should probably be even more willing to tip because the tip ain't gonna be that much. 10% of $50 is $5.
Yeah, but
If you
Beans,
could pay,
question though.
hold on real quick. I'm almost done.
Go ahead.
Save your question. If you could pay $50, you could pay $5 at a tip, right? If you could pay $400 in groceries, you could pay $5-10 in the tip. You can. Now, my
We
thing
all.
would be to eliminate the groceries. If that's
I
the
agree
case,
with you.
you just shouldn't be able to get your groceries with food stamps. That would be my only thing. You can't get your groceries
You a
delivered
fool.
with food stamps because then I would have an argument
Right.
on why I wouldn't try to force you to tip me. But if you paying cash or you swiping for your credit card for your $400 worth of grocery, you goddamn right you can give me $5 or $10.
But you
10%
making
off
rules.
140. I'm not even asking for that. So we're talking about 1% almost, right? We're talking about you give me $5. That's less than 2%.
Bro, I don't understand how you
So
don't
what?
get
You
it.
about to have court in the middle of the street with somebody about them tipping you? I mean, this is like it's
No, I
Didn't
ridiculous.
just,
say
Like,
I
that,
just,
and I would beg of you not to accuse me or mischaracterize
so,
things I
so,
said.
I didn't even say you said that. I'm talking about the video because that's exactly what happened in the video. Like,
Oh well, I didn't see the video, Lee. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't see
Okay,
it.
all right,
But
all
no, I
right.
oh, all
wouldn't
right,
do that.
well, yeah,
I
that's
wouldn't,
crap.
but I would.
Well,
But
yeah,
man,
that's
I'm gonna be honest with you. I wouldn't do that.
it's cool. It's
And one
cool.
thing I did was
Right.
it was this one building that I used to have to go to all the time. They had the dysfunctional people in there. Dysfunctional people love chicken, such as myself. And I just told the dude, I'm not going back there no more. Like, if you get an order from there, I'm telling you now, I'm not taking it.
Oh, okay, all right. Let me play the video for podcast so he can see the video. All right, let me play the video for her.
I should be getting a tip because of how much work.
No,
this
you
was.
don't deserve
Yes,
a tip.
I
You
do.
certainly don't.
Why do I not?
You're
But
crushing
this
the
was-
ramen noodles for
I'm
one
not
with
crushing
it.
anything.
Yes,
The
you
ramen
are.
noodles are perfectly fine.
No,
I don't
they're
know what
not.
you're talking
No,
about.
they're not.
They're
I
perfectly
just saw you
fine.
crush them.
They're not crushed. And why does it matter anyways? I'm
You're
taking
not
it back
good
to
at
the
your
store. They're
job,
not
so
for you
why would you
anymore.
get a tip?
They're not for you anymore. I just told you why I should get a tip. I had to pack all of this in my car and
I
bring it
paid
to you
for
guys and
them.
unpack it. You did not pay me. You paid the You paid the
I paid for
delivery
this
app.
food, okay?
You paid the delivery app. You
cannot
did not
touch
pay
the
me.
food to give
Do you
me
not
stuff.
understand that? No,
You
I'm
cannot
taking
stop.
all of this back.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No,
you guys can get your
you're
refund, and
not.
another
I mean-
delivery driver can deal with you guys. I'm not going to deal with.
No,
you
you're
anymore.
stealing.
No, I'm not
You
stealing
are
it. I'm
stealing
taking
for
it back.
How do we know you're
going
going to take it back to the store? How do we know you're going to take it back to the store?
You'll get a receipt. Trust me.
No,
You'll get your
I
receipt.
won't,
Yeah,
okay?
you will.
So
I'm gonna
I
go
just
take
wanna
it back
clarify.
to the
You
store.
I just don't.
I don't
You can
need
get
it. I don't
fired
need
over
all
this
this
You're
stuff,
gonna
so
get
I don't
fired.
have a reason to have it.
This
So I'm
is
gonna take it back to the store. I
$400
don't care
that you're
how much it
stealing.
was.
You're stealing.
I'm not
over
stealing it. I'm taking it back to the store.
No,
What
you
don't
are.
understand?
You are. You're gonna go
Clearly,
to
you're
jail.
not understanding because I'm telling you right now, it's going back to the store. You guys can get your money back, and you can hire
No,
another
you
driver.
can't just take
Go
things
ahead and
that
drive
don't
another
belong to you.
driver.
No, you can't take
Go
things.
ahead and drive. Get another driver to.
You can't
bring all
take
this
things
back
that
to
don't
you
belong
guys.
to you. You clearly don't understand how this to confirm the order. It's my property.
That doesn't
Or do
matter.
you not
guys
understand
can
what
just
property
get your
is?
refund back so that I don't have to deal with you guys.
No, you're gonna lose your job.
No, and at this point, I'd rather lose my job than have to deal with you guys. At this point,
So you're
I'll just
gonna
give
load all of it up.
I'm gonna load it all back
You
up
are
and
so
get you guys
illogical.
can get you guys.
Okay, so can I say something real quick, Aaron? Can you
Okay,
hear me?
be quick because I want podcast to respond because he's the one that didn't see the
I'm
video.
just
Go ahead.
saying, like, I order a lot online, and I get people like that. I'm telling you, you get people like that pretty frequently. I would say maybe a couple times a month, you're gonna get somebody like that. And Beans, for him, I don't know if what he's saying that we should be required to give them a tip, bro. That's insane, bro. People will mess up your order. They won't respond to you. They'll miss stuff on purpose to hurry up and rush the order. So I completely disagree. It happens all the time. People mess up your order and they fuck up your stuff all the time. So no, it should not be required, bro.
I don't think companies need to disclose that information until the driver drops off the package. To be honest with you.
Okay, so first of all, Aaron, god damn, man. First of all, I hate that the driver was black and the recipients were white, because you know me, it's very difficult for me to overlook that. I just sat here and told you I can't remember a time when I delivered to a white person and they didn't tip me. But that my experience is not indicative of all experiences. It's very difficult for me to see that and not think, yo, like, why the fuck they not tipping her? I do think she being extra petty if she was already taking stuff out the car and now she's trying to put it back in there and take it back and all of that. That's a waste of your time, a waste of your gas, and all of that. So she might as well have just left it and never took their order again. Never, like, put that address on her in her phone, store it as do not deliver, right? But I think to the point that Kobe just made, the workaround would be,
I don't want the workaround yet. I want to know who's right or wrong in that situation before the workaround.
Baby, who's right?
Be objective.
Do you think it's okay for her to take the groceries back?
Personally, no, I wouldn't do that.
Okay, so I'm going with no. My woman said no, so I'm going with no.
Now here's the thing.
Hold on, Aaron, I'm really going with yes. I just want her to think that I'm going with no.
Yeah, you can.
That nigga, that dog. West, man.
Man, no, listen, I'm telling you, I don't think she should have, but I understand it. And I stand in solidarity with all of the drivers in the US of A. We will be heard. Give us fleet.
Kobe, I don't know who that is, but somebody.
Look at God. Look at God.
Here's the thing, though, podcast. I support her taking it back.
Okay. Hey.
I support her taking it back. She has the right to take it back. She's an independent contractor. She has her rights. But the question is,
that's true. I see.
In this business aspect, is she in the right? Because She took the job, by the way, and don't get it wrong. She lied. She gets paid regardless if she gets a tip or not. She's a liar. Let's just be honest. Anybody that knows anything knows that they get paid whether they get a tip or not. We're not idiots. Okay.
It's not a lot though. It's not a lot.
That was sir.
It doesn't matter.
Never in my
Oh,
statement.
she said she didn't get paid. Did she specifically
said
say
that? Listen, lady, you didn't pay me. You paid the app. That's what she said.
Oh wow, okay, wow, she wild. Okay,
She didn't pay her. That's true. That's a true statement. She didn't pay her.
She gets paid.
She gets paid
through the payment of the act, so it's the same thing.
Because she's not working for free. There's an
It's
amount
just the
that
leg
goes
of it, but
for doing
yeah.
the service. The tipping part to me is this: I deserve more money. Company pay me more money. That's what she's doing right now. So whenever people go to the companies and say, I deserve more money, she's doing that, except she's the company now. As an independent contractor, she's the company. She's telling that consumer she deserves more money. Most of the time, we only look at it as the corporations are the ones denying the employees less money. But now you see the consumer telling the employee slash company, no.
See, this is my problem. The reason why the thing that make it difficult for me to actually give a fair assessment is I don't understand how she gets paid. Right? Because
that's very simple.
Easy. I already mentioned it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's the mileage. It's depending on how far she has to drive. It depends on how large the order is. Some apps are a little different. I know with Ship, it based off like if I'm going 30 minutes, then obviously there's a higher pay, and it depends on the store too. Like a Costco or Sam's Club typically pays out more versus like an Aldi's or a Walmart. Those are lower orders. So it just depends on the store as well.
Yeah, and Ship, by the way, is a company that's owned by Target, for if you guys are wondering, right? So the thing about that is, at the end of the day, do you guys support workers standing up for themselves and saying that's not enough money? I quit.
Not in this way. This is ridiculous.
I'm trying to.
She already look. If you let the customer know beforehand what they're paying, and they don't have to get the product if they don't pay this price, that's fine. But you can't come to the customer on the back end, not letting the customer know what they're going to be paying, and then ask for extra money on the back end. That's wrong.
Bro, I'm sitting here now because I'm thinking to myself, when you say mileage, all this other stuff, the question is going to remain still, the money that the company is paying her, is it coming out of the money that the customer spent?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a portion. Yeah, of course, it's a portion. It's like Uber or Lyft. It's the same thing, bro. It's a portion of it she gets paid, whatever that is, 8%, 12%. I'm not sure, but it's a percent of it. Now the issue is these apps will tell you can make up to 35 an hour or whatever. They're not looking at that's including tips too, right? So if you do a good job, you can make up to 35 an hour getting tips as well. The issue is people like this, they don't do well. And people who order can see their ratings and like this person is like a 4-star or 3-star, and so you can kind of tell if a person has a good rating, and those people typically get tipped more. So
wait a minute. You said this order was a $400 order?
Yes.
So basically, outside of the tip, are you trying to suggest to me that this woman got $40 out of that?
I
don't know the exact amount she got.
It varies upon app, bro. I don't know what the percent is, but it varies upon app.
It's not the customer fault because it's not transparent on there and how much a driver's making.
Right.
If she got $40, then I can't stand with her. Like, shut up.
All right, so this is the problem. Okay, Pop, this is the point. Hold on, let me go to the super chat. B Love says, Aaron, I appreciate all your thought-provoking live streams. Keep it up. You're making an impact by sharing your wealth of knowledge and wisdom. I'm just having a conversation. T.O.'s in the building. What up, T.O.? Now, this is the problem I'm having, right? This is the problem that I'm having. She took the job, y'all. Right. She knows how it works. She's reliant on the customer paying her a tip for her to enjoy the job. Now, let me make a correlation to y'all. Let's say I'm the CEO, right? I'm relying on the stock going up because the business is doing well for me to make a whole bunch of money. That's not no different than what she's relying on. I'm already getting my salary, whatever my salary is. I don't care, $3 million, whatever. But if the stock go up and I make 15 million, she's basically showing y'all that on a lower scale. I took the job. I know this is what I get paid, but I think the customer is going to give me more money. So I'm willing to take the risk and do this job, even though if I don't get a tip, I'm going to be mad. Think about that.
Yeah, I think that man, I don't know. I mean, maybe this ain't the best case to make the argument with. Maybe this ain't it.
Somebody in the chat said when delivery fees went up, my tips went down. They stupid.
Like
yes. Okay, look, that's what I'm trying to tell y'all. The companies are the consumer pays for the increases. So if y'all begging for more money and the customers can't afford it, the bosses are in the favor of the customers. They trying to deny these. No, we ain't giving y'all no money. We want to make sure the customers are good. And y'all fighting for the workers to get more money so y'all can pay for the workers to get more money.
And
But in
somebody has
this
to suffer.
circumstance,
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying somebody's suffering because they're right, bro. When I order online, bro, them service fees is high, bro. They're like $8 now. They used to be like $3-4. So, but again, that's why I'm gonna tell you this, bro. I guarantee you that lady, because that order was so large, she had an attitude, was probably giving them some bad feedback, and they wasn't feeling her, and they was like, you know what, we ain't gonna give her a tip. I'm telling you, bro, because you can communicate with them while they're shopping and stuff like that. So.
But here's the thing, though. I had to go to the store and pack your groceries in my car and then come back and unpack them.
Sometimes you don't even have to do that. Sometimes somebody packs them for you. They bring it out to your car, you just park, and they put it in your truck or whatever the case is, and you dip off. Not all the time, but
See, that's
some of those
different.
have
If
those
I do,
services.
so let's say I'm sitting. This is an order you can be sitting at the crib and go get, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sitting at the crib. Boom, order come in. I slide to the grocery store, pull up. Somebody pack my joint in. Boom, I slide to the customer. They unpacked my joint. Boom, I slide back to the crib. If let's just say that took me, the whole thing was 40 minutes, and I walked away from that 40 minutes with about $15. I'd be all right with that.
That's typically roughly what most people are getting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, Beans, that's actually about right. What you said is about right.
Yeah, I would be all right with that. It would be nice if the customer tipped me, but the fact that I ain't got to get out of my car, fuck your tip. Straight up, like I'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? Just get your stuff and so I can go. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm up out of here. Cause I know, see, this is what I know. My baby mama, right? A few years ago, she wanted to get a new car. She got a new car. She drove Uber for I think she said 16 months straight and paid her car off. So she was making some money, right? To go get a brand new car and pay it off in a year and use all your Uber money to do it. Like she was making some money. So I was like, yo, they won't hire me because I got a background out this world. So
listen,
but I'm just in there thinking that seemed like a decent little piece of money, because if you do that every 30 to 40 minutes, that's decent. You know what I'm saying? Like that's gonna look pretty good. But the problem is this, like I said, if you pay $50 for some food, bro, you can afford a $5 tip. It's not gonna kill you. Get over it. Just, yo, here you go. Right now, if you doing it on the phone or you're doing it online or you're doing it with a car, you like me, you don't keep cash, right? So I always make sure when I go to the restaurants, hey, I can put it on the receipt that I want to leave.
Okay, Beans, hold on. I want to center this. So I agree with you. You could pay a $5 tip. Here's the problem. I want to start here. Do you think what that young lady did in this video hurt the reputation of the corporation?
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No. Y'all racist.
Yes, it did.
Everybody who said yes is racist.
Well, this is
I would
at
say
will
yes,
hire,
but
right?
I would say yes, but it really doesn't affect them because they could just block her and get a new job or something.
See, at the end of the day, it affects the company. You may look at it on a lower scale, however you want to. It affects them. And I'm saying this person has that ability to do that. This is what corporations have to deal with. Employees or what we call contractors, whatever, having the ability to reflect on the company. There's a cost to that, right? If I got to take the risk of dealing with you, well, let me get back to this point. Let's talk about the tip thing real quick.
Wait,
So
you
podcast-
didn't. No. That don't. No. So what? 1099, independent contractor.
That customer is gonna go to a competitor.
Ain't
There
no
you go.
competitor.
There you go. Thank you. There
no
you go.
competitor.
Because let me give you an example. Last time I dealt with y'all, I didn't like my experience. You gave me a whack driver, or I got a whack experience. I'm going to go to somebody else and see if it's better. That is a fact. People want the best customer service. That's why they go to Chick-fil-A.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, but I don't know if that applies on this. I mean, I get your point.
And that's
I
your
think the
problem.
point is good. I just don't know if it applies on this as it pertains to these drivers, because I'm gonna go with the company that's giving me the best price. Period.
With Beans, it's like Grubhub. Like they ran off with like 5 orders. That doesn't
But
mean that I'm going to keep.
Wait. This is what I'm trying to tell you, Beans. In order for you to get the best price, there has to be a competitor that's paying less. Right. So think about what you're saying. For you to get the best price, somebody's paying somebody less money than you want a worker to work for. Think about that. You understand what I'm saying?
Or they're not a douchebag, so they're taking less in order to share more. You just hate that idea, don't you? You hate that idea. It burns your britches.
Yes, and I'm about to tell you why. Hold on. I'm about to tell you why. and let's see if you like this. Because of what you just said, there is a cap for a tip. There's a cap. So, like you said, the most you can get going on a drive, no matter if they spend $700, the percentage is you can get 10%, $70, right? I'm just doing a random number. You cannot have any more than that. So if a person wanted to tip you $200, you are not allowed to have it. How does that sound?
That sounds like racism.
No. Think about what you said, and I'm going to rewind again. You're right. Fine. You can actually afford to pay a tip. If you spend $50, you can pay $5. Fine. But because you have this stipulation in the business, right, which will hurt customers' acquisitions, I'm saying now you have a cap. You cannot get no more than the amount listed. So you don't get all the upside. You have to take, if we taking the risk, you don't get upside. You don't get unlimited upside. You have a cap, because that's what you telling the boss that they have to have, a cap.
How do you regulate that, Aaron?
Well, no. He's doing a mock trial, as they say on my favorite show, Suits. So here's the thing. That's racism. And the reason why is because you're saying cap me, right? But at the same time, my my revenue stream fluctuate way more than yours does. Way more. So even at one time when somebody might want to tip me $200, the rest of my tips gonna be 5 and 2s and 4s and 2s and fews, right? Whereas your charges and what you making off of it stays about the same. It's a streamline all the way across the board for you. It's never a down day for you.
No,
So
but
that's why that's racism.
No, you're wrong. I just fixed it. I said there's a fixed tip. You're not going to get fluctuated tips anymore. It's fixed. You just have a cap. You don't get full upside. Somebody say, I want to pay you $1,000. You cannot have it.
Okay.
That's the offset. Do you think people would be in these businesses if they knew that they had cap tips?
Well, is the customer forced to pay the tip?
No. But if you say cap tips during the charge, I'll take that. But you can't tell me what a motherfucker could give me in my hand. You don't get to tell me that.
But see,
I don't get to tell you that.
See, there we go. Now you still want to be greedy. Now you seeing the greed on the other side. I'm trying to help you see the other side.
It's not greed because wait. It's not greed because I'm not asking for it and I'm not demanding and I'm not saving nothing off of nobody.
All right, podcast. Stop. Let me tell you why it's not greed. Because I'm not asking you to buy the product. If I charge $1,000 for an iPhone, I'm not greedy. I'm not making you buy the product. You want it. So by your same assertion, they're not greedy either.
That's not the same. Do
It is exactly
you
the
think that's
same.
gonna work on me?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead and tell me
That's
how.
not gonna work on me.
No.
Aaron,
It's
look
fine.
at what you're saying. Look at what you're saying.
Take your time.
I'm saying, I'm not saying to anybody, right? Give me a $200 tip. You've told them, like, let's use the limo service. The limo service was 20%, period, point blank. No more, no less, right? So that's what I knew I could expect. If somebody had a $900 night, I knew I was about to make $180 for a couple of hours worth of work. I loved it, right? Okay, now if at the end of the night, that person decides to walk to me and give me a $200 tip, that is something that is not required.
Okay, let me tell you.
I'm not facilitating that transaction.
Okay,
right?
listen.
Wait. Versus you saying, you know what? I could sell this phone for $600, seeing as how I only paid $2 to have the motherfucker made. But I'm gonna charge y'all $1,400 anyway, just because I know you stupid motherfuckers don't pay me.
All right, you know what? Since you don't like that example, I'm gonna adjust the example. You said that what the company makes, by default, there has to be a minimum tip rate, right? I'm saying fine. That means you're capping what the company gets to take. Because in order for us to get what we get, we have to give you a certain percentage of it, right? So you're capping us, whether our percentage is
Wait. When you say in order for us to get what we get, do you mean in order for you to get the customer's business?
Look, let me try this.
No. I'm just saying yes or no. When you say that, when you say in order for us to get what we get, are you saying in order for us to get the customer's business?
Ideally, yes, because there's a cap to acquire a customer. If you price it too high, you lose a customer. But look at it like this: there is no upside for the company. Like, for example, if I charge whatever it is for my device, that's the charge for the device, right? I don't get an upside of somebody saying, hey, by the way, we want to give you an extra 200 because we think you're so phenomenal in making devices, right? There's a cap. But for you, when you do your service, we're like, oh, there's a mandatory tip that you must pay based upon a percentage of whatever it is, and that's the cap. But you're saying, but I still want the opportunity to have upside if they want to give me extra money. So you're saying,
absolutely.
Okay, listen to what you're saying. I'm saying you already agreed that this cap tip is enough for you. It's more than fair. People already agreed upon that, right? So if you're willing to take more, that's greed.
No, Aaron.
No. Let him respond.
Okay. It's not greed to be willing to take more. Willing to take more, desiring to take more. That's greed.
Yeah,
Desiring
I might actually
to take
agree
more,
with him on this one.
looking for more, expecting more, entitled to more. That's greed. Willing to take more. It's somebody is being philanthropic. I will allow them to do it. But Aaron, think about it. Even in the example that you're using, no matter what happens, I'm only making 20% of what you're making on the deal.
No,
so of course I'm gonna be willing to make more.
The point of it is somebody could give you $1,000 outside of me already forcing my customer to pay this.
I know.
Rate.
That's what I'm saying. So like I said with the limo thing, if the order is $900, I know I'm making $180.
Plus
I know that
upside,
already,
right?
If they give me a tip, yeah.
So, but see, here's the thing. I'm telling you, you have to deny that tip.
And
That's
I'm telling you,
listen
me and my brother's gonna rob you. You sound crazy. You just made now. Well, I forgot about. wait, I forgot. Wait, hold on. I forgot, Aaron. I forgot. It's the $10 an hour too that you paying me. So you paying me $10 an hour plus I get the 20%. So that's how it was set up. So let's just say like I said, I did delivery service for 10 hours. Just gonna walk past me like that.
Okay, but do you? Okay, look. Even though you don't want to agree to what I'm saying,
$200. Wait. So look, you made 9, I made 2. You see what I'm saying? Like, of course, I'm gonna be willing to accept more money if I can, knowing you made 9 and I made 2.
But this is the thing, right? The problem is, you know what I made, right? What does
Yeah.
what I made have anything to do with what you agreed upon? What does what I made have anything to do with what you agreed upon?
Okay, it don't have nothing to do with what I agreed upon.
Exactly. It's greed, bro. It's one-sided greed. Just acknowledge, yeah, I'm gonna take that little greed, even though we agreed to the cap, because I needed you to do that for me to be a part of this business. Just admit it. Just go,
Okay,
all right,
so wait a
it is
minute.
greed.
So, but wait, does it matter if I'm in this scenario? Does it matter if I'm using my own vehicle? Should I not be able to? And let's let's use your terminology. Should I not be able to be a little bit greedy if I'm using my own vehicle? Because that means you're taking less of the risk. Because it's my vehicle.
Well, what? Okay, I can understand that, but okay, the risk of you using your vehicle, right? All right, let me give you an example. Are you saying, like, say for instance, you work in construction and they require you to have your own tools, and you're saying like, no, like you guys have to supply me with the tools? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying no. I'm saying I don't want to use the construction because that's gonna confuse me. I want to use this because one of the things that you kept emphasizing is that you're the one taking all the risk, which I completely understand. So, but that's what I'm saying. And even if we went with the cap, right? But in this situation, not in the limo service, I wasn't. But that's what I'm saying. Imagine if I was, because that's exactly what's happening with Instacart, Uber, all this other stuff. Guess what? Not only are you using your own vehicle, but unless you just decide not to, you're actually supposed to get the insurance to cover doing that, right? So that's 2 less things that you have to pay for, right? It's less risk for you. You don't have to worry about your cars getting damaged. You don't have to worry about your insurance going up, right? So shouldn't I then, right, be willing, even in the scenario that you painting, shouldn't I then still be a little entitled to be greedy since I'm taking some of the risk off of you?
Well, here's the thing, right? Your insurance is a write-off, right? When you're doing this type of business, your insurance is a write-off, right? So you have a lot more write-offs, even the mileage, gas, all that stuff. You can actually get a write-off for that, right? So yes, there is for example, for the type of business that I run, I have a requirement that you have a vehicle. That's more than fair, because in any other industry, I have a requirement that you have a certain skill set. So it's not the thing is just so happen the skill set happen to be you know how to drive. You have a driver license. You see what I'm saying? It's not commercial license per se, but it's still a requirement to do this business. You must have a vehicle. Now, they do have clauses in a lot of these businesses where they will get the rental car for you, wherever the case is, and charge you for it, which is more than fair. Because, like, think about it like this: you can either have a fully owned vehicle and don't get charged by the company for them to help you rent one, and you get all that upside, or take the cost for them to assist you to rent one and take half of whatever that cost would be.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's 2 ways to look at it. And I'm just ultimately trying to show you is that people are greedy in general, because if we go to an agreement and say, well, podcast, you deliver $700 of groceries, the tips should be, we just use arbitrary numbers, at least 10%, and $70 if you do that. And you like, yeah, $70, that's a bet, right? But the tip is capped now. You like, man, okay, but we agree to that. No upside. And this is the problem that I'm having with people is they want upside to their benefit, but they don't want any downside. Like, think about this. There is no downside for you at all, 0. But for companies, there's always downside.
But Aaron, that's not
there
true,
is.
though,
Okay, I'm
because
sorry. Go ahead. I
the
feel like I've been
downside, though,
dominating.
right?
Yeah.
The downside is if my car just broken down from doing all of these deliveries, they're not going to help
Come on
cover
now.
any of my expenses for me getting my car fixed. Or
Talk to this nigga.
And then even if you look at it from an insurance standpoint, some of these companies, they don't even fully insure you. It's like you have to actually have the food in your car or the person in your car if you do get an accident. Even so, if you're on the way to pick up a person or on the way to pick up a delivery and you get into an accident, they don't cover you.
Well, watch this counter. If that's your argument, whenever we have a cybersecurity issue and somebody steals information or they charge us to pay it off, we got to dock that from your pay. Because the way it sounds like you talking about depreciation for your car, whatever the case is, that's your risk. Well, we take risks with cybersecurity, securing people's information. And if you want a part of this, you'd have to pay on the downside of that. But you know what you would say is that's your problem, not mine. So if your car get wear and tear because that's the vehicle you want to use for the business, that's your problem.
But that's not a good example because
But
cybersecurity
wait,
it
it don't defeat downside.
It doesn't defeat downside because
Yeah,
their
exactly.
pay package and their benefits are way completely different. It's not even comparable.
But
wait, Aaron, we literally just watched a video of the downside. We just watched it.
But Aaron, I don't think they understand that.
They're not trying to look at the other side because they only want their side to win.
No, you're not looking at it from this side. You're saying that there's no downside, but there's only upside in their greediness. I'm saying that it goes both ways. I have to take a risk. There's a risk on both sides. The difference, and that's why I say it should be based on your service. Everybody's service is different. I'm not entitled to give you 20% of nothing. If you come up and you have a bad attitude, you get a bad tip. If you have great service, I'm gonna throw you a dub or throw you $40. I'm cool with that.
But listen.
I agree with that.
Hold on, wait. I'm fine with that. The problem that I'm hearing though is it should be automatic. And I'm telling you, if you want to take the risk of having upside of a tip being any amount, you got to take the risk if you get nothing. And what I'm hearing people say is,
I agree. Hold on. I agree with you. But see,
and that's why I'm not arguing with you about
y'all, wait. Y'all agree. Y'all agree.
Exactly. That's why I'm talking a podcast.
Let me ask this then, right? Okay, because I see what y'all saying. So you order McDonald's, you order fries, cheeseburger, pop, you want no sauce on your burger. They put sauce on your burger. I bring it to you. You think I'm responsible for that because they got your order wrong? I just want a quick yes or no. Because I've heard people use that example tonight about not tipping because they got your order wrong. But it's like, what the fuck does that have to do with the fact that I went and picked that shit up and drove it and brought it to your fucking door and rang your bell? I have nothing to do with that.
Hey Aaron, I don't think they understand like Uber or DoorDash, right? By them like giving you bonuses, that's a downside to the company, to be honest with you. Or like
wait. See, this is what I'm saying. Y'all can't interject stuff like that and then
that's true.
Like we don't
agree.
understand. We didn't know.
Podcast. Hold on. I will make the court agree to disregard that last statement. We're not inducing bonuses because that's part of a business job to try to get more employees and entice them. So that's not a direct correlation to what we're discussing now. I'm speaking to the greed and the downside and upside argument, right?
Right.
When I listen to workers, the argument is we don't want no downside. Whatever happened to the business, if we get negative cash flow this quarter, we want our paycheck to stay the same. I don't want no knocks on my paycheck or nothing. If the business suffer, that ain't got nothing to do with us. However, if the businesses thrive, y'all need to come through with that profit sharing. So that's why I'm trying to get you to understand.
Now that's a good example.
When I'm looking at that lady denying, so about I'm gonna take this back. She has every right because she is the business technically, and she is the service. So I give her that right. It's some whack business, it's some whack service, but she has that right to argue her price. The problem then comes is she agreed to the price prior. And then she said, I want to raise for my services. And this is no different than people they want to raise from their companies. It's just she's the company now.
But see, here's the thing, Aaron, though. That driver
still a racist.
That driver is like she is what's the word I'm looking for? Like she's dispensable, right? Like they're not gonna block those people from ordering. They could easily kick her off and then just get another driver. That's what I'm saying. It hurts her by not giving simple good service. You see what I'm saying? Like she could have a benefit to this if she just was a good customer service. That's all I'm saying. Like
no. But see, that's not.
But wait. Did the video start with her pulling up?
Well, they start right there where I started.
Exactly. So y'all stop disparaging that black woman before I set this thing off.
So I'm not hold on. I'm not speculating. Hold on. I'm not speculating good service or bad service because let me tell y'all what never really comes up. You should tip, but if the service is bad, you shouldn't. This is the problem, right? Because realistically, most people think if you go somewhere, you should tip. And see, and that's where the complication gets at. Is it really up to the person to decide if they should tip? Because I hear people say you shouldn't go to a restaurant if you're not going to tip.
No, negative. A
You
tip,
see what I'm saying?
a tip is relative to the service you receive, right? It's customary, but not guaranteed, right? The reason why a person will take a job as a server making less of an hour is because they can make more money basically under the table in cash if their customer service is up to par, right? So again, I think that's a big problem that's going on with companies, period. Why should I pay? Basically, y'all saying when you use self-checkout, you should tip.
That's absolutely not what we're saying, because we're absolutely talking about a human being in that position.
But listen to what I'm saying though, Beans. It's the same thing technically, right? Because if a person doesn't give you the service that you expect, right? It doesn't matter. You can go to any waiter, right, or any McDonald's and walk up and get the food. You go for the service. Yes, you go to eat, but you also go to get a certain amount of service, right? So again, it's no different than if a person. It just doesn't make sense if a person is a bad waiter or a bad server that they get a tip just because they choose to take a job where they make $8 an hour plus tips. Right?
But what does that look like though? And I'm not even being facetious, because I'm sitting here trying to think, what does bad service look like?
I mean, that's easy. I mean,
well, no. That's not easy. That's subjective, and that's a downside. This is the point, right? It's up to the individual, and that's why I'm saying you want all the upside, but none of the downside, because that person may deem your service worth nothing or $1, and it's well within their right. And somebody else can deem the same exact service worth $30 or $60. That's the risk you take.
I get that,
exactly why the tip should be mandatory. Boom.
The fact that we don't know what simple, like courtesy and decency is. Like, come on, man. We're not asking you to do front flips or back flips for it. We're just saying have simple, good customer service. That's it. Everybody knows what that looks like.
Answer, no, you don't. No, you don't. Because,
wait, I missed it. What did he say?
No, simple, you don't. Because Beans just asked.
Decency and courtesy.
No. Listen to what I'm saying, Kobe. No, that's not what I'm saying. Beans just asked you the question: what does good customer service look like? What does that look like to you?
To me, it's being able to greet someone, be respectful. That's like, it's simple to me. It's super like respectful greet, because I tip everybody. If I don't tip you, then it's obviously a problem on your end. That's what I'm saying. So I'm not asking for you to go crazy, do nothing extra. I'm just saying, for me, simple common courtesy, greeting, ask me if I need anything else, simple stuff. That's
so wait a minute. So let me give you an example, Aaron.
Wait. Let me create the scenery, right? There are some people that used to work in the service industry that will tip you for doing minimal work because they know how hard it is.
Facts.
You ain't getting nothing great, right? That's just hold on, just listen, hear it out. That's just who they are. Then there's other people that are like, nah, this service better be good or I'm not tipping at all. And you're like, they don't know that Kobe tips everybody and I must have done a bad service for you not to tip me, because they don't know the last person just tipped me $30 and I gave them exact same service I just gave you. It's subjective. There's no way to say what good service look like, what bad service.
I guess you're right. It depends on the person who wants the service. But I think for me, it's not nothing extra. Like if somebody has a bad attitude or they're not responding or they're just being crazy, lazy, like that's the type of stuff that I was referring to. If they do that type of stuff, then they should know they're not getting a tip.
Okay, wait. I got a question, right? So, because it's two of them really.
Have y'all not had bad customer service before, or?
I was just saying, I'm asking my lady, and she said, yeah, she know. I can't say. The only thing I could think of, I think one time I dealt with somebody who acted like they didn't want to be at work, right? And so the job sucks, and I kind of just understand that. I still left like $3. It didn't matter, right? So it is what it is. But this is what I want to say. What about car salesmen? Car salesmen make money off of the cars that they sell.
But they don't get tipped, Beans.
It's not a tip, but isn't it technically a gratuity?
Well, they selling.
Isn't it technically? It's like you sell the vehicle.
So
You
Beans,
sell the
Beans.
vehicle, you get a certain amount of money.
That's a commission.
Hey, Beans.
Okay, it's a commission. There you go. Thank you. Commission.
It was a commission. I've been a car salesman for 4 years, so I know everything you're talking about, bro.
Time out, Kobe. How the fuck have you had all these jobs and you 19 years old?
Bro, I'm a hustler,
This
bro.
motherfucker been a barber, a rapper, a DJ. He used to do
I know
flips.
it's crazy. I've been working.
What the fuck, man?
See, but the commission, the commission.
You can sell cars under 18.
Right, this nigga 17, bro.
See,
No,
but
hey, I'm actually 28, but go ahead.
28.
Okay.
God damn.
The commission
You
is
helped build the World Trade Center replacement. Like, what the fuck, nigga? Okay, I'm back.
Okay, come on now. Stay focused.
But this is what Aaron was talking about, right? The commission is presented by the company, right? That's something that they have to take as a down, right? So it doesn't matter if Ford or whoever, the Chevy dealer, they didn't sell, they didn't make enough cars, or everybody else didn't sell X amount of cars. If your commission base is, if you sell 5 cars, we give you 20,000, they still got to pay that.
Right. Now, here's why.
But that's coming from the vehicles they sold. They don't get that if they don't sell vehicles.
But wait, Beans. Here's why this is not a good industry to cross compare, because in the food industry or the delivery industry, you don't have to sell the product. Like that product sells itself.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So like you actually have to sell the car.
I don't know, because I'm not gonna argue with that. But here's the thing about it. When I go to car dealerships, soon as the dealer walks to me, I'm like, "Hey man, do me a favor, leave me alone. Don't try to sell me, bro. That's not gonna do nothing but piss me off. I already know
if
what
you
I
want that burger, you want it.
I was online. I looked at what I wanted, right? Before I even came here. If the car is as nice as I want it to be, I'm gonna take it. If not, I might look at some other stuff, but don't try to sell me. I don't like that. You try, yeah, man, that's the one, right? The boy, you sure look good in that car. That shit just make me want to slap you, right? Stop talking to me, right? So to your point, I get what you're saying, but shit, look at Carvana. They selling all these cars online. People are buying these cars sight unseen.
But Beans, when you want that 20 piece at Popeyes, you already sold. You already
still
sold
talking
on
about
it.
food, man.
It is, all right. But I'm just saying, don't duck the Carvana example. I'm telling you, I watched it. I was just working there, right?
Beans, the Carvana experience, you have to understand, they have marketer. They have marketing departments, right? They know how to market properly. So you have to understand, they know how to entice. Think about the imagery. The image of the picture has to be nice. Like they gotta go ahead, Ricky. Go ahead.
But who's getting the commission at Carvana?
But see, hold on. Here's
You know what's crazy? I don't even know if we got commissions.
But hold on, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was gonna break down to you. So companies like that, Carvana, it's like they have an internet team who reaches the people who are searching the website. The salespeople they're not really salespeople. They're more like customer service reps. They pretty much know it's done when they get there. So they're really not selling you anything, and that's why they have a set pay. They have like make like
right. But this is what I'm saying, right? So if they give you superior service online, right, and you still, are you going to tip them?
I didn't hear you say that one more time.
You ain't shit.
I said if they give you superior service online, are you going to tip them?
I mean, how do you know? But see, that's
you
the thing. Though.
Answer the question.
No, hold on. But here's the thing: it's a different
Don't answer that shit. If you answer it, we lose.
It's different because the person buying the car, they're not directly paying, right? Or they don't see the person who's the internet salesperson. They don't see
at all. They don't talk to nobody.
That's my point. So they don't know who's the person when they get in the dealership.
That's a fact. It's the whole process. The whole process.
Wait. Stop. Nope. Stop right now. Think about it like this. Beans delivering Wendy's, hot 555 deal, right? Go up to the door, sit the food down, ring the doorbell, get back in the car, dip off. You still want a tip. They didn't even see the driver. They didn't see you.
When you roll through Wendy's and you have a accept.
Okay, but this is why you guys are messing it up, because one is an independent contractor, the other is W-2. It's different. The independent contractor, we see their face, we can see their profile.
It's not the point.
It's the point.
Kobe, hold on, Kobe. Unfortunately, they have a point here.
I get his point, but I'm
They're
trying
not
to make
trumping it.
my
They're not trumping us, but they have a point. We have to adjust and pivot, right, so that we can come back and, you know what I'm saying, make our move and beat these guys. They think they got us, but they
But
don't.
here's the thing, though, Beans. If you let me finish, right, Aaron and Rick, right, I get your point. What I'm saying is that from a consumer standpoint, right, I don't directly see this person that is in the internet. I can communicate with
At
them.
all.
How do you tip? Hold on, I'm asking you. How do you tip a car salesman or somebody who's at the dealership?
Wait, Kobe. See, this is why I was trying to interrupt you.
No,
that's
don't
what
interrupt.
I'm
Let Ricky respond.
It's my go. It's my go.
I just want to know. I'm not
No,
looking.
I understand. Hey, if that's your belief system, sir, you would find a way, right? But again, right? But what I'm saying, what I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this, right? No matter how you try to put it, right? The truth is, there's great customer service and there's bad customer service.
I agree with that.
No other place is more apparent than waiters that get tipped. There's some waitresses that can make more money than people make in a week in a night. You know why? Because their customer service is exceptional, right?
They go the extra mile.
Hold on, right? And why do they get tipped so exceptionally? Because they're so much better than the other waitresses in there. They're so much better than the other waiters in there. It's part of the job. If you take that job, right, especially in the service industry, right, you as a man or woman go into that job knowing that if you don't bust your ass, if you not one of the people who stand out, if you not one of the people who make sure a person's drink doesn't go dry, right? If you got to be one of the people to make sure that steak come out exactly how that person like it, and if it's not right, you get it back to the kitchen to get it done right without any questions. That's great customer service, and people reward it. I am not going to hold on. No one should be tipping someone who is not giving them an experience that they're paying for.
Okay, so here's
wait, hold on, Kobe. It's my turn. Okay, so it's a good little move y'all just tried to pull on the homie Kobe. You know what I'm saying? He just tapped me in on the WWF side of the game. So here's the thing, right? The point about Carvana was that you actually don't ever talk to anybody. The whole process is that you're online. They showing you 360-degree interior, exterior, all that type of shit. You say, that's the car I want. When you show up to the place, all you're doing is putting your signature on a few pieces of paper. They hand you a coin. You put the coin in the machine, and it's like a real live vending machine. The machine come alive, and it start making all this noise, sound like the Iron Man suit and shit, and it starts vending your car down from out the fucking sky, out the vending machine, right? So you can make the argument that I could tip the dude who hands me the 5 pieces of papers to sign if y'all just want to be conservative douchebags.
So I want to make the argument of this. When you go on an immersive web page, right, they ask you questions. Maybe they'll ask you questions about your personality. Maybe they'll ask you what your favorite color is, right? And then you'll see each web page transition to a customized view of what you like. 360 rotation. There is somebody that designs that. If you love how you can go on that website,
you ain't shit.
It's me, baby. It's
you
me.
Ain't shit. All you ever want to do is win.
It's me.
All you want to do is win, no matter what.
I'm just trying to get you to
Aaron. Get him, Aaron.
That is some bullshit.
That is trying to get you to understand that it's crafted a certain way, and if you enjoy that experience, like Ricky said, if it's in you to tip, you should be tipping. That's all we saying. Keep it consistent.
Well, hold on, Aaron. I got a question for you because if we're gonna think about it like that, do we not have service companies that pay employees a salary that don't expect you to still perform impeccable customer service?
Exactly.
Wait, what you mean? Wait, hold on.
Whoa.
Yeah. But my point is that a lot of companies pay employees a salary and they still expect you to have impeccable customer service, regardless if you get a tip or not. It comes with the job. You have to perform exemplary customer service. So it does not matter if you get a tip or not.
That's
I,
right. That's
I
a
as
good
a
point.
corporation,
But
I
that's
still expect you to
irrelevant.
do it.
That's irrelevant.
It's not
That's
relevant
irrelevant.
because if I'm
Wait,
customer
hold on,
service,
hold
I
on.
don't. If I'm customer
Guys,
service,
hold on, wait. The boxes are to give these two people priority. Let me respond to the extreme behavior. Okay. Now listen, you say they have an expectation for you to do things. I think that's relative to the business established, right? So if you can't tell me they have no expectation at McDonald's, you can't tell me they got expectations at Burger King. Now, if you tell me a high-end restaurant, they pay more. They pay more. They actually pay you more when those expectations increase. So it's actually relative, like Uncle Rick said, to that particular business. They're not paying you the same thing at a high-end restaurant that they pay you at a Burger King or McDonald's. Or am I wrong here? Somebody let me know.
And that's
Well,
the
no, you
problem.
are wrong. You are wrong because even at a Burger King, hold on, because even at a Burger King, they still expect you to have exemplary customer service regardless of what you're getting paid.
That's a lie.
Hey, that's a lie.
What do you consider exemplary customer service? If
That's
the
a
point?
lie. You know.
The person on salary.
Hold on, hold on.
Hold on.
Hold
I
on.
was with you, but you cooked yourself on that one.
No, hold on, because no, because my
they don't even got exceptional food, nigga.
well, no, my thing is my thing is when you get your meal and when you order, they always say yes, thank you for coming, have a good day. For the most part, that's the script.
That don't have nothing to do with
They don't. They might not carry it, but that's what they're required to do. If you've been a manager, you're still going to require them to do that.
Hey,
The person that's a manager is not a
Hold on, y'all. Real quick.
Is that customer service or filling your order?
Right. Do you know I went to a Burger King and their manager told them that they cannot answer the phone because they don't want to talk to people. They got to do their job. Do you know that's what they told me?
Hey, wait a minute, hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all something because in these new McDonald's, where you walk in and
They don't even
order
talk
on
to
the
you.
goddamn,
They don't even talk to you.
Right? I'm talking about they barely even look at you, fam.
They drop your bag.
They call your order and sit it on the thing and walk away. They call your order.
Hey, it's all that's because it's all relative to what you're getting paid. They are getting paid less, so the expectation is smaller, but they still do have a responsibility to give you some type of service.
Yes.
Wait. Whoa. Did y'all hear what he just said?
Yes,
Not really. I've been drinking.
They pay you less.
Listen.
Listen to what he said. They pay you less because the expectations aren't as high.
Oh,
hold on. But that does not mean. That does not mean they don't have any expectation of service.
It don't, but it's
just small. Yeah, it can't be high, but it's still small expectation of service.
If it's small, how can I receive exemplary?
Right. And then why should I be
okay? All right, I can see that, Rick.
Hold on.
I can see that.
Hold on. As a consumer, why should I be entitled to pay low-level customer service or tip low-level customer service? Why do I have to be responsible for that if that's their business model?
That's all I've been saying.
Hey, okay. So here's my question. Then I got a serious question. So, because I already told you, I think tipping, especially when people have a job that they should get tipped on, just do it, right? Okay, cool. But let's say it's a different situation. Any of y'all ever heard of the rhino pill? Okay. Let's say you take the rhino pill, and I'm talking about you put it down on your girl.
Stay out them gas stations, Being. Stay out them gas stations.
Should she tip you?
Should she tip you?
Yes. You're giving her exemplary service. You're giving her something that you aren't always giving her. It's usually 15, 20, 30 minutes. Now you an hour and a half, 2 hours.
She can just go somewhere else and get the service.
You right, Beans.
You
right, Beans. She should get the tip. You hear what I'm saying? She should get the tip.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just ask you straight up and down, then, Aaron. So, yes or no, regardless of service, let's just make it. It's not exemplary.
I'm just shocked that y'all don't
ma'am,
understand the difference between good and bad.
Hold on, baby JB. He sound like JB to me. I don't know about y'all, but you go to the restaurant. Why you dropping down? You go to the restaurant.
I didn't.
Oh, okay. You go to the restaurant. Person walks up. How may I take your order? You give them your order. They walk away. They bring your food when it's ready. They never come and ask you how's everything, none of that other shit, whatever it is. You wave them down when you're ready for your check. They give it to you. Boom, and that's it. Yes or no? Should they get a tip?
Hell no.
Y'all bugging. Y'all
Hell
bugging, man.
no.
Y'all bugging. That lady came and took your order, brought you your food, and brought you your check when it was over with, bro. Like she did some work. She don't
You
gotta
said did
keep
she
your
check up
ass.
on us? Like was you
Bro, I don't even
Okay,
really like that.
okay. Let's. Okay.
I hate when they be like, "Hey, is everything all right?"
I hear you, Beans. Now,
really.
okay. So in that moment,
that's
right?
going the
What?
extra mile?
No. Do you think? So could you repeat to me what you just said as what she performed?
Okay, she came to you. Can I take your order? You told her what she wanted. She wrote everything down. She walked away. When your food was done, she brought it back to you, set everything on the table for you, walked away. When you flagged her down, you was ready for your check. She brought it to you and handed you your check. She
Okay.
did her job.
Great. How much time did that take?
Out of her whole thing, maybe 4 minutes tops. 2 minutes taking the order, a minute bringing it to you and putting it down, a minute. It's probably less than a minute, but I'm just being nice. I'm rounding up.
What's the going rate for the living wage right now?
Livable wage.
15.
What they call it? I ain't made it in so long. Minimum wage. What's the minimum wage?
$7.25.
So that's an hour, right?
Federal, yeah.
So how much should she get out of an hour of $7.25 worth of work for 4 minutes?
Man, I mean, I'm gonna always throw $5, bro. I just always throw $5. You know what I'm saying? $1 per minute, bro. She gave you 4 minutes worth of work. Minimum, you give her $4. That's how I look at it. Because out of my mind, the way I always process it, if you do 10 tables a day and we all give you $5 and you made $3 an hour, you at least made $74 for the day.
So this is the question then. What is the purpose of tipping?
The purpose of tipping is to not be a douchebag, right?
No.
I think that's purpose number one, right? The second purpose is so that people don't think you can't tip, right? And then the third purpose is to say, look, little hoe, I know you're out here struggling with your little bro. The lady at the IHOP last year, year before last, when me and my lady was at IHOP, told my lady said the tip is about service.
Exactly. Smart lady.
Man, whatever. The lady at IHOP told us that she made $2.79 an hour. So for me, the tip is because I know you don't make no fucking money. Straight
Okay,
up.
let me ask you this, right? Because this is gonna narrow down for me.
Well, her service wasn't bad either, though.
Mm-hmm.
Should tipping be in every industry that has somebody that directly works with a customer?
No.
No, not every industry.
So you say no. All right. So that tells me that you wouldn't directly tie it to a customer service experience.
Yeah, no.
Right.
So
a customer patron exchange. You wouldn't tie it to that, right?
Because customer service it's required regardless. That's what I was trying to get you to see. Customer service is required.
So it's a lot of industries. People are customer service reps and they don't get tipped. So there a lot of them. There are a lot of people that say, "Hi, I'm a customer service rep," and they don't get tipped. So I'm asking this question: Do you think people would take these jobs if they paid them let's just say $18, $20 an hour? Because I know they get paid on a minimum wage, and tipping was disallowed.
No.
Depending on the job.
I'm gonna say yeah.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah, they would.
I'm gonna say yeah.
If you're working a warehouse for $18, you're working a restaurant for $18.
No, they work as servers for the possibility of being able to be in there 8 hours and make more than a person at a warehouse makes in 8 hours. Again, if their customer service is exemplary.
Right.
That's the reason why they become waitresses. That's the reasons why they become waiters and waitresses, because it's the service industry. You have the potential to make a lot of money under the table.
Okay,
I don't
But
think a lot of people read the job descriptions, to be honest.
but this is what I'm saying though. 18 ain't nothing to sneeze at in this pussy ass country. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just telling you, like, man, because a lot of times they don't be having nothing to do. If I could really just sit around in that motherfucker and get 8 hours a day, not really have to do nothing in the restaurant side of the game, like, I don't know, man. Maybe it's me. Y'all seeing it from a different angle. I could understand the angle, but I'm just saying to go from $279 to literally get $16 more an hour for sure, times 8. You already at 100. That's $124. You know what I'm saying? That you guaranteed for sure every day, right?
So let's play this out. If you believe, do you think that's better than tips? Because this is the real question here. Do you think that having that salary minimum, let's just even say the restaurant pays you $20 an hour?
Woo!
Right? As a matter of fact, take that back. The restaurant pays you $30 an hour, and they tell you, hey, right, I'm paying you $30 an hour, and I'm expecting great customer service. I'm not gonna say exemplary because that's somebody that's elite. I'm expecting great customer service, right? But they're saying you get no tips though, right? However, any tips that are given goes to the management and the owners.
Oh, see, now you want to try to take the money and give it to somebody else. They probably gonna have a problem with that. Me, I wouldn't. I'm still gonna take my.
It just changes the market. That's all it does. It just changes the market. Basically, the employee might change.
It changes it for the negative for the worker. And let me explain why. Because if you paid those guys $35, that means the cost would increase for the patron, which then because it's the nature of human beings, right? They're going to raise their expectations of the wait staff. That means they're going to work you harder than they did before.
It just depends on the restaurant size. If it's like 100, 150
I was
people
just
in
about
there,
to say that.
I'll do the tips, but when I can make 5 tables, you can make that under an hour, 150 under
That's
an hour.
the point. That's the point, Aaron. Is
wait.
that if you at a restaurant that ain't doing a whole lot of business, of course, you look for the tips.
Oh, wait, stop. That's perfect, right? So y'all want to take the situation that's most advantageous to the benefit of y'all, even though we're saying the company thinks that we paying y'all $30 an hour and we keeping all the tips is more beneficial for us.
Right.
You're objective to that.
If I'll put you like this.
Why?
If you give me that, if you give me $30 an hour at a local restaurant that ain't booming and bunking like that, I'm taking it.
No.
Thank you. Let's go back to the point. Let me try this again. This is an elite establishment. We top tier, right? We charge a lot of money. Just listen. We charge a lot of money for the food that is made. We have one of the top 3 elite chefs and we're world known, all this type of stuff, right? Everywhere else, y'all get paid $2 an hour. We paying y'all $40 an hour. But our clientele are the elites. We know they tipping 150, 200.
Oh, well, yeah.
I'm going crazy.
I agree.
Stop cutting me off. Let me paint the picture.
Fuck them tips.
We paying y'all $40 an hour, right? Industry standard, we blew it out the water. Every tip goes to the owners.
Fuck them tips.
Are y'all good with that?
Yep, show am.
If that's the business model.
That's our point.
But that's the business model.
Hold on. But Aaron, that's our point. People that are making that type of money an hour, they're not the ones complaining about tips. Those aren't the people. That's what I'm saying. Those aren't the people.
Motherfucking am.
So listen. Y'all can say that, right? But when y'all see that $2,000 tip come in,
yes, sir.
I promise y'all just talking.
Let me do the math.
When they pick up that check and they see that gratuity for $500, y'all gonna be like, that could have been my.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold on, y'all. Let me get my checkmate. Hold on. Let me get my checkmate. Checkmate. Aaron, checkmate.
Go ahead.
Yep. Because you just told us about 10 minutes ago when you was trying to embarrass me in front of my lady, what business of mine how much money it is that you make? Oh, checkmate. Checkmate. Ain't my business how much them tips is you getting. It ain't my business. That's
Wait,
your
wait, 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 wait.
money.
Stop,
I just want
stop.
my
Wait.
40.
Okay, you know what? You
I
know what?
wasn't here for
Oh,
that.
wait, no, wait. Watch this counter checkmate, right?
Yeah, y'all counter
Hold on,
tonight.
stop, Kobe, stop.
I'm too good at this.
Kobe, watch the counter. Watch the counter. We decided to hire you for a position. You took the deal. CEO compensation says, we got upside. I made $15 million. And you said, y'all making all this money, we deserve more money. Whoa. Why does it matter what we making on our upside if you agree to the pay that we offered you?
Okay, counter.
Go ahead
I got a counter.
Go ahead and try.
You said earlier, right?
Go
You
ahead.
said that it would be greedy for us if the company was willing to give us a tip. So if they were willing to give us a tip, you would still have a problem with it, bro. That's my point. Like,
I'm actually wrong.
If they were willing to tip me off that 2,000, would you have a problem with that if I accept?
No, there you go. No, you're wrong.
You said that earlier, though.
I would look at it the way
earlier.
No.
You said that it's greedy for us to expect a tip. If they were giving us a tip, it would be greedy for us if they're paying us that type of money.
No. That's not what he said. That's not what he said. That's not. What he said earlier was that if the deal was in place for it to be a cap, and we knew that, and we took the deal, and then somebody came along and wanted to offer us some more money, and then was like, "Yo, well, we should be able to get that money." Then that would be us being greedy. My argument was that I ain't asking for it, but I didn't want to. I just wanted to let him have that one because I know he's still feeling a little tender from his fight with E Black yesterday. I know your knuckles still hurt a little bit. Put some ice on that shit, you'll be all right. Niggas bruise their knuckles every day, B. All right, but Aaron, no, the whole point is I can't judge what the tips is. It ain't my business. I signed up for the 40, bro. The 40 and out, 40. I know you, Anton, Angry Man, that don't sound like nothing. I remember, I think I seen the episode when Anton said his hour, he worked for $142 an hour, sleep or woke, right? I was like, God damn, I need to rob this nigga, right? But
that's over $1 million plus. But go ahead.
Like that, exactly. But at 40 an hour, and the most I'm doing is, hey, welcome to fucking, Aaron O's Steakhouse, and can I take your order? All right, you want cheese on that? Like,
but see, here's the problem that I'm having.
Give me my 40, you can have them tips.
But here's the problem that I'm having.
That's $320 a day.
But here's the problem what I'm having. Y'all all liars. And let me tell you. Let me tell you how y'all know y'all liars.
Speak for yourself.
Jesus Christ! Listen, don't make me turn into a tyrant over here. Okay, listen. You have to understand these people are liars because podcasts. Let's say I have a job open. Podcast. I want to pay you $40 an hour to work at my business, right? And you say, Aaron, I accept. You accept the job? Cool, right? Now, all of a sudden, you working hard, whatever the case is, doing whatever you think you're doing, take your $40 an hour. You turn on the television. Aaron O gets an incentive package if the stock goes over $15 of $50 million. The next thing you do is, oh, no, they got to come up off some of that money. You got to share with us. You got to share that money with us. This is why we have arguments now, because if this was the case and people really just was accepting whatever they agreed to, none of this stuff would exist. It is the fact that you know how much money that was coming in, and that's why you jealous. Because if your argument is
okay, so you win.
Hold on.
You win that. Look, I would concede that every day of the week. But the point is, earlier you made me not care. If you make me not care, this is what I'm saying, Aaron. If you make me not care, I'm not taking the 20. If you make me not care, I'm cool with the 40, dog. What you talking about? That's $320 a day, fam.
Okay. So how do we make you not care, though? I'm trying to get to that point.
Because that's $320 a day.
Oh, so wait, you're saying, look, think about what you're saying. You're saying if I pay you a salary that you want, right, then you won't care about none of the upside I make?
Hell no, not at 40.
Okay.
That's not true.
No, that's not
wait,
true.
hold on. Let me show you
That's
what I
not
mean.
true at
I
all.
can prove it to you.
Go ahead.
Bro, I don't even know how the fuck garbage companies get money. I have no clue how they actually get money, right? But they must be really getting money. because the dude who pick up the garbage at my mama crib, that motherfucker make $37 a fucking hour to drive a big ass truck that put the arms out and lift the garbage up for him. He don't even have to get out the fucking truck 85% of the fucking time, right? So if they paying that nigga and all these other motherfuckers 30 something a fucking hour, how much money are they really making? They gotta be getting to the bag, and I don't think them niggas care. They still got they Chevys, they still got they foreigns, they still got they Challengers, they still got they $150,000, $200,000 houses. Like, that's most people. If you give me my bag, it's the percentage of people you talking about, I'm gonna be nice and give you 10. Everybody else, if you give me my bag, I'm gonna be so grateful for my bag. I'm not gonna give a fuck what you make it.
But it just depends. I think it's relative to the market, man. Like if
Yeah,
if
it's
That's a good point.
because
That's a good point.
because if you keep saying that, right, I'm cool with 37, but then the next two companies that like UPS, if they boost their employees to 48 or 50 an hour, and then rent goes up by 40-50% over the next year, it's like, bro, they're gonna complain in a year and a half from now about they want to get 45 or 50 like UPS. So it's just relative to the market, bro. That's what I think. But I think no
Yeah,
matter what
exactly.
market we're in, there's always going to be these entitled people who feel like they should get more, even though they know what they signed up for. And that's this lady today. That's to me, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't think
Exactly.
she understands what she signed up for. To be honest with you, from a deeper perspective.
You're wrong, and I'm trying to tell you because people they have strategies. So like, are you in a major city? You ain't got to tell me where you're at, but are you in a major city?
Yeah, I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, so in major cities, right, when Uber was first kind of like booming, they had what they call what's that fare? There's like a specialized fare time, like where they boost the cost of fare. I forget what it's called.
Georgia State. Oh no, I'm tripping.
Somebody might know if they drove Uber, but it's basically during a certain time period, like they increase the cost of getting a ride. I forget what it's called. There's a
It's
term
called
for it.
surge hours.
There you go, surge hours. There we go. Right. So when you're talking about surge hours, right, there are people that strategize around that concept.
Facts.
Right.
So that, like, I know people that literally will wait by an airport, wait by a downtown area, and specialize in only picking off customers. It's literally a strategy. Some people don't strategize.
Right. I did it full time. I did it. So basically surge hours, like 10 p.m. till 3 a.m., you're basically making 20-30% more than you would, right? So some people, they only work surge hours and they'll make $200-$300 between 10 p.m. and 3 a.m. and they only do it on the weekends.
Killing.
Right? So, killing it. And then if you have an SUV or a big XL truck, you're making double that. There's dudes who make $500 easy in 2-3 days, bro. So
All I'm saying is, Aaron, I know this ain't no money to y'all because y'all conservative douchebags and all that, but according to shout out to smartasset.com, they're gonna be Aaron O's
Achilles heel.
No, they're going to be your whatchamacallit, the people who pay you to advertise on their channel. They got, let me see, so boom. But I did salary, right? Because at $40 an hour, well, let me just put it in under the hour. So $40 an hour, even if you just did 40 hours a week, that's after taxes. God damn, they taking 32%. $21.75 every 2 weeks. So that's got them at 43. That's $43.50 a month. Nigga, I'm the fucking king of Harlem with $43.50 a month. You understand what I'm saying, nigga?
No, you ain't.
and then if you have a
What?
big, like if you have a Super Bowl or a big event in your city, come on, man. Like if you're in a big city, it's even better. So
I'm the king, nigga. I'm still gonna be the king when I get out. Know what I mean?
Stop watching
Straight
TV.
up.
So let me ask y'all this: are you guys pro customers or pro worker? Who do you think is more important to the business?
Customers or you said customers or who?
Employees or workers.
I say pro workers.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I say pro employees.
Hey man, I say both, man. You know, dream work make the team work, man.
Dream work make the
really
team work.
both, to be honest.
Oh, we could have easily said that. You gotta pick one.
Nah, if you would have said that, you'd have been silly as hell, just like him. Dream work make the team work, huh? That's what we doing. That is not what they say. They say teamwork make the dream work, not dream work make the
Oh
team
yeah,
work.
you right. My fault. Hey man, it's been a long day. You got me on that one.
That's because your ass had all them jobs. See what I'm saying? Your ass got shit
But made a
backwards
lot of
now,
money
don't
doing
you?
it. So, but no, you right.
Nah, but listen, I'm gonna tell you something. This is probably gonna be my last time coming over here because Aaron want people to think too hard. Don't nobody want to answer this question and then alienate workers and shit when they're around. And hey, how you doing? No, motherfucker, ain't you the one who said you side with the customers? I saw Aaron no show. Like, don't nobody want to have to deal with
He
that
keep
shit, bro.
receipts. He for sure keep receipts.
Right? Like, that's a tough ass question because I'm usually a customer, right?
I ain't
More
gonna
often
cap.
than not,
I'm still stuck on what
97%
Lee
of the
said.
time, I'm a fucking customer, right?
I'm still stuck on Lee when he was talking about investors don't care about profitability. That is crazy.
Yeah,
I did some research
I
right.
think he had an accident on
crazy.
that motorcycle. He must have fell off or something.
I did some research. I did some research right when he said that, and one of the things he said that was true, according to the articles, is that DoorDash is not profitable. So
Yeah,
people
but I
gotta-
already knew that. I'm the one that brought the example because it's not profitable. That's what he should have said is sometimes companies are willing to be not profitable to gain market share. So they're willing to suppress their prices, lower them to compete to gain more customers. But the goal to not be profitable is insane.
One
Basically,
example.
Netflix did it, right? Right? Right,
One
Aaron?
example too.
Netflix did that.
Netflix did it.
Aaron, in my
was they
city, right?
profitable with the red boxes?
No, you talk about segment of business and profitability. Most people probably don't review their numbers that way, but I think that particular business is gone now. So I would argue it's unprofitable because you typically might not give up a profitable business like that. So that you talk about the little red box thing, I would say they probably were not profitable, but I don't know specifically.
So Aaron, in my city, right? I'm in the Midwest. I'm in Minneapolis, right? So like in my city, we had like it was last year or I think earlier this year where a group of Uber drivers in like the committee or advisor, whatever, they were arguing for more pay per mileage. And they basically were talking to the mayor, like, okay, this is what we want. And they kind of agreed upon it. They went to Uber. Uber was like, no, we're not going to pay that. And the Uber driver's like, well, we're going on strike. And basically they said, if this is what y'all want to play or the game y'all want to play, we're going to take Uber from your city. So they eventually denied it. And then obviously they still get paid what they get paid. And that's what I'm saying. Like, they could easily do that. And that's why I don't think the bigger picture is like people got to stop saying like we could win this battle because you're not. They could easily just say, no, we're going to take Uber from your city.
Yeah, no, trust me. I try to tell people this stuff. I try to tell them, like, don't let these politicians tell you, oh, you need to have these benefits. They need to make you an employee because they know right now you tax write anything off. And when you start to tax write stuff off, your mind shifts. People don't realize that if you ain't never wrote nothing off in your life and you thought you always had to pay taxes on everything, the second they go, well, you know what? That's a tax write-off. And you know what? That's a tax write-off. Your mind goes, well, dang, I can write stuff off? So you start thinking about what more can I do instead of living like a cap mindset. So that's why I always tell people stop arguing with these companies because you're not going to really win.
Yeah,
but,
I was shocked. I was like,
Okay, Aaron. I got a question for you.
Yep.
Who's that talking?
Let's move fast. My question is, oh God. All right. Well, my question to you is do you think that corporations have an obligations to pay their employees a fair wage?
No.
So you don't think that corporations have any obligations to pay you any fair wage?
Nope.
Okay. Define fair.
That's a good point.
A fair wage is either with a group of employees are asking or market wage.
It depends on the market.
No. Wait. Now, look. You're not in the box. Kobe, chill out. You're not in the box. Now, listen. This your problem, Big Mufasa. You went from a fair wage to a market wage. Market has nothing to do with fair.
Water.
Well, okay. Well,
try again. This is the first time you're in the box with me. Go ahead and try again. Go ahead.
Well, no. Because my thing is, I would say that corporations have an obligation at least to America, into this country, to pay a livable wage. And I've talked to you about this before, because how in the world are we supposed? We've gotten to the point where capitalism. We talk about greed on the employee side, but we're not talking about greed on the corporation side. This is how they're greedy. They squeeze the employees. If they don't raise the pay, they fire them. We're not talking about corporations' responsibility to the capitalist system. They have an obligation to keep this system working. And if you're just going to screw the employees, my thing is this system is never going to work. People are never going to get paid what they should get paid. It's never going to keep up with the cost of inflation, or the cost of living. So my thing is, what obligation do the corporations have to keep wages on par with the cost of living?
I tell everybody to watch Ray Dalio's How the Economy Machine Works, right? And I tell y'all so y'all can actually see, because I want to, let me mute podcast. He over there flirting in the dang jacuzzi. So I want y'all to understand in a type of, Eden, man, you pull yourself up. So I want you to understand in the sense of an artsy or a cartoonish type of this, what is it called? Animation, right? And what he will tell you is, this is how markets always go. Always. What happens is people make a lot of money, the wealth gap gets bigger, and people get pitchforks and go, we want more money, we want more money. That's always what happens. And so ultimately what's going to happen is what's happening right now. This is not nothing new. Oh, y'all not paying us. We going on strike. We deserve more money. Happens. People start to negotiate, and then we get back to normal, and y'all stop seeing this arguments and stuff on TV. Go back and check the 2008. Go back to check all the stock market crashes. Go check the history of it. It's the same game.
Hold on, Aaron, I understand that, but that's also the reason why we have so many corporations going overseas. My thing is, what obligation do they have to America?
None.
To keep jobs over here. My thing, if you're saying none, then we're all screwed. We just pretty much let them do whatever they're doing, and we're done.
Wait. Why do you say we're all screwed? You think the corporations owe you an opportunity to have a job? They owe you.
Not necessarily that they owe me.
Correct.
We have competition within America, but you do owe Americans, if you are an American company, to provide jobs in America.
No.
That is on par with the cost of living.
That's false.
If you're making it hard for our path of profitability, of course we're going to go overseas.
Let you breathe.
Well, my thing is, hey, when we look at it and we understand, I said this to you before, Aaron, we wonder why we have ghost towns. We wonder where manufacturing is gone. We wonder why certain industries run to China and put these things in sweatshops. If this is how we're going to do capitalism, to the point where the corporation has no accountability, they can take as much profits as they want, and they don't think about the people that's working for them. You don't think about the neighborhoods and how America grows. Then the corporations don't give a damn about America. They don't care about the population.
Whoa. No, they don't go on no diatribe. No. This is the problem that you having. The corporation owe you a wage. They owe you the benefits that they promised you. What you do with that is your responsibility. If you in a neighborhood that's trashy because your neighbor's throwing stuff on the ground, that's your problem. Fix your community up and go throw the trash away. There ain't no corporation supposed to come through like, we love America, let's clean up the community. No. They owe you what they promised you. And typically companies pay that.
Yeah, but if they promised you something below a wage that you pretty much can't live on, then pretty much now you're saying, well, don't accept the job.
Don't work
But if
there.
every
Don't
job,
work there, Foster. Don't work there.
if every job in every industry paid that, then you're screwed. This is what I'm saying. If we got to the point in America where we said the corporations can be so greedy, and we can be, and my thing is, I am a business owner, but we've gotten to the point where we can just be to the point where the people around us don't matter.
But every
and that's killing America.
Hold on, Kobe. Hold on. There is no corporation that is greedy. Let me tell you how it works. They meet the demand. Ain't none of them greedy. We greedy. We over here buying. Hey, Jeff, I appreciate you sending that package to me 24 hours. I appreciate that. Here go my hard-earned money. No corporation is greedy. The people are. Whoever's buying the products are. You can't call anybody greedy when they give you the option to purchase. Only the industries that are required, meaning if you're in the grocery industry, they were required to eat, you can argue they're greedy. But to sit there and argue anybody else is greedy because people are willing to pay for their product is BS. What you want is them to pay you more money because you see how much money they're making. You're not them. And if you think you're so valuable that they ain't gonna be making that money, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. You wouldn't be saying why you're going overseas. They're showing you you're not as valuable to them making this money. We can make this money with somebody in another country. We doing you the favor.
And that's my point, Aaron. You don't care. My thing is they don't care about America. So why should America care about them? Why should America care about them?
No.
Why should you be here? Why should you be here? Why should you do business here? Why should you use America to do your work if you don't care about us?
Let me answer that question, sir. The reason why is this. We don't gotta care. Your parents don't gotta care about you either, but it's their responsibility legally to take care of you. But they ain't got to care about you. They have to provide for you. They have to pay for this. After a certain age, they done. You could be like, oh, my parents hated me. I don't care. That don't matter. A corporation's job is to pay you what they promised you. All this caring about your mental health, caring about how you feel, that ain't got nothing to do.
That's not what I said, Aaron. I didn't say anything about caring about your mental health, but you should care how your people live. You should care that they're at least making a wage enough to live, to raise a family. That's our problem with America.
No, one second, E-Man. I know you want to get it. No, that's your government's job. Your government job.
Yes, you're right.
I know I'm right. To protect this country and to basically set up society. They get to determine if these companies do business in America. You know why they say, yes, please do business in America? Because they make good missiles. Because they make a lot of products that are very, very beneficial to the government, regardless of how you want to look at it. And if the government had to pay y'all these fair wages, we all be out of jobs.
And simplify it, Mufasa.
Actually,
Hold on, Mufasa. Just quit the job and go start your own business. Simple as that. Simple
right,
as that.
so you can get ate up by the bigger corporation on
yes, no, everybody can't do
exactly
that.
what happens. What
See,
you
we
would
get
call
on
it, the
YouTube.
bigger corporations eat
Oh
up
my
the
God.
smaller ones, and then everybody ends up working at Walmart. Now, the reason why that the government, that the corporations don't care is because they're banking on the government subsidizing you to fill the gap. That's all it is. Basically, the government subsidizes the workers. That's
Gotcha. So say the government don't care or whatever the case is.
They do care because they're the ones that's providing you the stamps.
Yeah, that's
care.
their job. It's their job. It's not no corporation job to do any of that other stuff. It's
But the government, but it's not the government's job to subsidize the workers because they're not getting paid enough. And that's not the government's job.
It ain't the corporation job to take care of this.
So the government subsidizes. They give them the golden parachutes, whatever, like that, if the business fails. And then while they're in business, it's the government's job to go ahead and subsidize the workers too.
That's a false narrative. The large majority of businesses are destroyed. They don't succeed. The only businesses that they save that you sold is the ones that they have to do. They ain't saving none that they don't have to save.
I'm not talking about them saving the smaller. They're not giving out gold. They're not giving out parachutes to the smaller businesses. We already know that. I'm not talking about that.
But that's the point. You want to overlook those businesses because they're still a business. What you're saying is they're not as valuable to the government. That's the point.
I say the bigger corporations aren't valuable to the government either if they got to subsidize its workers.
Do you think the government minds subsidizing the workers? Do you think that they want to work?
Should.
Wait. Think about it.
They are trying to cut benefits. They obviously don't want to do it.
Think about it. Do you think they mind people having a workforce? Don't you think they want people to work?
Yeah.
There's no goal into paying you an amount of money to where you wouldn't have to work no more.
No, the government is not paying you the actual wage. They're just filling in the gap of the wages that the company didn't give you.
No. So the government gives you subsidizing when you don't meet a certain threshold. So you have this fairy tale thought in your head: if I work 40 hours, that's a special hours that I should make enough money to where I wouldn't need subsidizing. That's wrong. Some people work 80 hours, 90 hours. If that's what you need to make. Now, if you told me there's somebody working 80 hours a week cannot actually pay for their life, then we have an agreement here. That's not the argument. The argument is people get work 40 hours and they say, that's enough. I get to stop and enjoy life. Nobody owes you enjoyment of life. Nobody owes you time to spend with your family. This is the problem with dealing with people that want from everybody else. If I do all those things, so this is like giving an example, a man that pay all the bills, then do what I say. Because if I'm going to do all these things for you, I want you to do as I say. And what I want to say is, you know what? You don't get to go on vacation. What I want to say is you don't get to buy a dog. I want to control your life. So
well, in my opinion, and Aaron, my thing is, this is what's killed the American dream. This is why we don't live like our parents lived. We're sitting there sending all of these jobs overseas, and we just say that the corporations and the government, we let them both do this.
I'm living the American dream. I'm living the American dream.
We all are right now. Nobody on this panel is broke. We all have homes. We own homes.
But I live the American dream. I live the American dream because I work. I live the American dream because I work 80 hours a week, 7 to 8 hours a week.
Brother, come on, man. That's disingenuous. We all do. My thing is, can you think about somebody other than yourself? Think about society.
I'm thinking about some other than myself. The reason I'm thinking about other than myself is because I understand this concept. If you want something, whether it's me or anybody else on this panel, no one's going to go give it to you. You have to go out there and work for it.
Hold on. I want to meet Big Mufasa where Big Mufasa is at. So at the end of the year, for my business, right?
Work 80 hours a week.
So Big Mufasa, at the end of the year, when my company says that we're in the red, $30,000, right? The following year, is it okay for me to take $30,000 out of the people check to be able to make sure the company survives?
My thing is, you may have to fire a few people. You may have to raise prices. My thing is, as an owner, man, you know, it's our responsibility to do what we have to do to become profitable. And it's not always paying your people under wages. You have other options here as a corporation, and you know that.
I didn't ask you that. I asked you at the end of the year, I'm $30,000 into the negative. Can I, as a owner, say, hey, 20 employees, we got to divide $30,000 out, and everybody got to give back portions of their paycheck, or I'm going to take it out your next year paycheck. Is that okay?
Yes or no?
Yes or no? That's yes not a no. Yes or no. That's not a yes or no question. Man, if you a businessman, that's very disingenuous. You know, there's other ways to cut that $30,000 other than just saying, I'm gonna ask y'all to pay for it. See, that's what capitalism has become.
If he doesn't cut it,
no, you can.
The business won't survive.
Okay,
that's not true.
Hold on. Don't derail for what E-Man just asked that guy, because he asked a very
he's trying to back you into a corner, and him as a businessman, he knows there's other way to cut costs other than asking employees to kick in. He knows there's other ways to cut costs.
There may be other ways, but he's asking you a specific question right now, though.
Okay. No, I get you, E-Man. Yes, you could, sir. Yes, you could do that. You could do that.
See, I like that you said that, because most people say, no, I negotiated a salary and I believe that you should give me what I negotiate. See, it's a weird world that we live in. If you win, I want a piece of your winnings, but if you lose, I don't want to have nothing to do with it. This is what I hear people say. Anytime a company loses, they say that's the company fault. The company got to figure it out. The company family, the owner of the company have to worry about feeding his family, and he need to go down there and wait in the food stamp line to be able to provide that. But when we talk about the company winning now with no risk, because all employees don't have any risk, with no risk, I want to be able to have some of the profits. That's the problem, is that you guys are greedy and you only want to take a risk if it benefits you, Big Mufasa.
Right. I
agree. My thing is, I think it's if you're a good, businessman, I think that you have more options than that to just say, I'm going to take it from my employees. My thing is, yes, we understand that, okay, we're not at the employees are saying, okay, well, yeah, they're not taking any loss, but they also are getting paid a lot less than the company is. We're not saying take no profits, but we're saying that, hey, you should pay a livable wage that keeps up with the cost of inflation. That's all we're saying.
So what is a livable wage?
It depends on your area. It depends on the area. Atlanta. I don't.
Well, let's. I want to come home to you. What city do you stay in?
I'm in Richmond.
Richmond, Virginia. What is a livable wage in Richmond, Virginia?
$17 an hour.
No, it's not.
Give me a yearly raise.
I'll say the average median income is around $60,000.
And so you're saying that if my company made $42 billion, as long as I'm paying people at least $60,000, you're okay with that, Big Mufasa?
Well, not necessarily. It depends on what business you have, and it depends on the market for it.
No. You asked for
doesn't just mean you just pay. You don't just pay your employees just regardless. I'm gonna pay you all $60,000, even though you're doctors. That doesn't work.
No, I just want to go with what you're asking for. If you say that everybody on my books need to have at least a livable wage, I brought in $48 billion this year. If everybody on my books made at least $60,000 in Virginia, is that a livable wage? And are you okay with me making $48 billion?
Yes, I'm okay with you making that.
All right. So
they said the median income in Richmond, Virginia is $28,000.
Yeah, so I get it, but the point is, Big Foster says he's okay with it. I don't believe there's nobody at Tesla that don't have a livable wage. I don't think so. I might be wrong. I might be completely off, but I think everybody at Tesla have a livable wage. Why are some people still complaining? It's because they can look at the owner and says he made $5 billion and he made $27 trillion. I don't understand why I didn't get some of his money. It's envy and it's greed. Big Mufasa, are you disagreeing with that?
No, I'm not disagreeing with it. I agree with your point, E-Man. I think you're right. But my thing is the whole system is greed. Because my thing is to take obscene profits and to say we're not going to pay our employees, like I said, to keep up with cost of inflation. We understand that the average American can't even qualify for a home today. They can't even qualify for a home. It wasn't like this in 1950. Something has happened.
Hold on. Wait.
Well, who's paying them? Of course, it's the corporation part.
I know E-Man cooking right now, but hold on. I know a lot of things wasn't like it was back in the day. It changed. So now, this is the point that Eda Man is making. Do you know why most people don't know how much their co-worker making? Because it brings jealousy in the workplace. Imagine, this is why y'all all think that y'all make the same amount of money because y'all both had the same position. Let's be honest. Callie Bev might be better than her coworker, even a little bit better. But if they do the same job and we know Callie do it better, and she got more money than her and they know it, it's going to be a problem. This is why for a long time they've been hiding how much your coworkers typically make unless you glance over. You have a guess, right? We all guess. Oh, we assume we're in the same position. When people start finding out, they start picking each other apart. It's actual proof that people actually just have problems with other people's life being better than theirs. That's all it is, because if you did not know, you would not complain. That's what Eda Man is proving. What podcast said earlier, well, if I get $40 an hour, I don't know that you got a $2,000 tip. Why would I care? Exactly. The only reason y'all mad that Elon Musk is a billionaire is because you know. If you did not know he was a billionaire, you wouldn't care. Y'all jealous and envy is what is occurring. So when you start to see these transparent salaries now, and you start seeing your coworker making more money than you, I don't know a lot of y'all that actually like y'all coworker that make more money than y'all doing the same position.
Yeah, but Aaron, let's say me and Callie Bev had the same job.
Yes.
And she came in 2 years before me. She has a few more years experience and she does the job better than me.
No, let's say we hire y'all both at the same time.
Okay, you're right. Hire us both at the same time.
Yep.
And my thing is, let's say that they're paying Callie Bev $120,000, but they're paying me 60. You don't think that's the issue?
That's not
No,
realistic.
it's not realistic because there's a but let's just say that's the case, right? If you took the 60 grand and she didn't, you think that's a problem?
No, I think the corporation at least had an obligation to not try to get the person that you're paying 60 to.
All right, listen,
You're just saying I'm gonna offer you anything. And my thing is that, and the corporation has to have some kind of obligation. That's all I'm saying.
I understand. This is why children are dumb as a doorknob, because you believe it's somebody else's responsibility to teach your children. See, it's not my job as a corporation to go, let me make sure you know everything about how to negotiate your salary, what you're worth, and deciding what you want me to tell you what to do with your life. That's not my job to inform you of that. You get to come in and I offer you something. You can reject it or accept it. The truth of the matter is people are dumb and they're mad that people are not accommodating their ignorance any longer. This is that
dumb or is that shady business? Is that shady business or is that dumb?
It's not people being dumb. Some people are desperate as well.
Take both.
That's
not my problem that you desperate.
Listen. They help create the market conditions so that there's desperation. I will say that.
You know, wait, 1 second. I'm gonna chill. You know who helps create the market conditions? The worker that say I'm willing to work for less money than you willing to work for. That's it. Y'all, people really just don't want to acknowledge the jealousy and envy exists is because somebody living a better life than you. That's it. Because
and what also hurts the market too is people who make bad decisions with the money they do earn.
Yeah, but we didn't even talk about that. I don't think y'all guys I can't say y'all don't understand because I don't know. But if I offer Callie a job, hey Callie, I'm going to offer you a job, and this job starts at $65,000 a year. And Callie says $65,000 a year is good. And I go to John and I say, John, I'm offering you this job for $65,000 a year. John says, hey, I need at least 85 to work this job. He negotiated up. We settled somewhere around 75. It's not that I had a different conversation. I didn't say anything different to the two different employees. One employee just advocated for themselves more. Do y'all understand that?
Y'all niggas just too rich because that ain't how negotiations go. They don't just be offering you such and such $1,000 per year. They offer you your hourly wage and that's it. But no, y'all niggas too rich for me.
That's a
I'm
fact.
going back downstairs.
No, but Callie, so that's untrue. Even when I had an hourly raise, they said, hey, this is going to offer you $17 an hour. And I would say, hey, you know what? I can't do this job for more less than 22. I apologize if I was misleading, but I need at least $22 to get this job. And most of the times they would say, I got to reach out to such and such to see if I can do it. They go back, they have a conversation, they come back, they say, I can't give you $22 an hour. I'm going to give you roughly around 20. Can you make it happen? I got the right to say, yes, I would like that. No, I do not. I'm already through the interview process. They have already made a decision that they want me to be a part of their company. It's my responsibility to negotiate and not just take what they give me. You don't have to take what they give you. That's the biggest lie that people don't understand. So, Big Mufasa, do you believe that people with lower rates just fail to negotiate their salary?
Yes and no. Because people with lower wages, we're acting like they have the ability to go in there and say, I want $25 an hour for this position when they're only offering 17. You don't have that ability to go in there and think you're going to negotiate with those people.
You're having false conversations then. So let me clarify. When you come into a place, they do tell you how much you're going to make. They don't lie. They tell you, I'm going to pay you this X amount of dollars, 18 per hour for the salary of such and such. You say, I accept. Or you say, I decline. That's literally how job offers go. I don't care if you're a minimum wage, regardless. You know what you're getting paid. You execute a decision.
I have negotiated.
I think that's right.
It haven't been a company that I went to that I didn't have the power to negotiate my salary. Like every company.
Yeah, within a range though, man. Within a range. You can't go in there and blow it out the water though.
But that's the difference. If we look at somebody who's making $20 an hour versus somebody who's making $25 an hour over a year time frame, especially if you add overtime in that, that person's gonna make a lot more by just making an additional $5 an hour. Are you like disagreeing with that statement, or are you agreeing with that
Well,
statement?
yeah, but see, you also know there's caveats into that, because you know, as a business owner, when you need overtime work, you're going to call that person that makes $20 an hour before you call that man that makes 25 an hour.
That's not true. I'm gonna call
Not
the person.
necessarily. No, that's false.
I'm gonna call the most reliable person. I don't, because when I'm in overtime, I don't care. Me personally, I don't care about who's the best, who the dollar amount. You wouldn't be here if I couldn't afford your wage in overtime. When businesses make decisions, they say I can afford you at 40, and I also can afford you at 60. They already made that decision when they hired you, right? So you're really calling the person who's more dependable. In most companies, they're not saying, well, let's call this guy because he make a couple dollars less. That's not how it typically works.
Well, I would disagree with you there, because if they're anywhere close and comparable, and usually somebody who's making 20 and a few dollars off, they're somewhat close. One is not way better than the other.
Okay,
and if you had, and my thing is, we act like their payroll taxes aren't the biggest expense. Companies are always trying to cut that. They're always trying to cut overtime. So my thing is, they will choose the employee if he can get the job done. They would choose the one that makes less if they feel he can get the job done.
Big Mufasa, let me ask you this: have you ever had an employee, one employee, two employees, any employees?
Yes.
Do you have an employee now? One, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could you offer to give them $1 more right now?
Well, I'm a little different. I kind of do mine on commission, but yeah, I mean,
Well,
I
why
could.
don't you do an hourly raise?
Well, because I think they like commission. I like commission is based on what they do. So it's kind of like, hey, if you go out here, you do more, you get more. It's kind of like a service thing. So, like I said, I pay my guys on commission.
So you don't have employees, you have 1099, correct?
No, I guess you can put it like that. They're like 10. They're not independent. Like I said, they work for us. We take taxes out and all of that. They're just paid on commission of what they do.
It's something sound a little strange, either, man.
Well, you can do W-4. So if you do have a W-4 employees, you technically can give them, like, do they have benefits like insurance, all those type benefits?
We offer it. They all don't take it, but we do.
All right, so it's just I don't want to get into that because I don't know who's watching. Listen, but the one thing the one thing is that typically what makes them an employee, if I negotiate Big Mufasa, you making $25 an hour, it really costs me $35 an hour to have you as an employee because I got to pay half of your taxes. I don't know if you like, so employers pay half of the taxes. They also got to pay for all your benefits. Like, say, if you got a 401k match, if you have health insurance, all those things cost us. So you really cost me $35, not $25. When you have 100% commission, it's totally different because you're saying that it's like feast or famine is what we call it. So feast or famine is different because they only get a percentage of what they do. I can understand that, but imagine an employee that doesn't do anything and you still have to pay them $25 an hour. Do you feel that that's still beneficial to the company?
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
So
that's kind of why I did the commission thing, because I don't want guys to sit around and just get $25 an hour and not do nothing. I'm trying to incentivize them, so I just thought that was a better business model to put guys in trucks and let them hunt for it.
But even with commission, 100% commission, these people are more likely not to be able to have a livable wage. So in reality, that's counterproductive to the points that you've been actually talking, correct?
I can see that, but like I say, I think that's based on them. They have the ability to do it.
He's checking you right now.
Well, that's fine. My thing is, they have the ability to
Listen
make
to
as
what
much
you
as they
know.
want to make.
I'm gonna save you, but at the same time destroy you. What you're saying is, it's their choice. That's ultimately what you said. They have the ability. It's their choice. That's what you said. And E is saying everybody has a choice. It's literally their decision. There should be no arguments or gripes ever. Everything is negotiated all the time for any job. Nobody is working a job where they don't know how much money they're getting. They know. So
yeah, my thing is, like I said, I just think that here in America, we have too many people that's living below the poverty line. We have too many people like I said, too many people that's working 40, 50, 60 hours a week and still aren't making it and still aren't keeping up with the cost of inflation. And my question is, what obligation do the corporations have, if any,
None.
to kick in at all? Y'all think they don't? I think they do.
Okay, we got to start telling the truth here, though. How many people working 40 hours a week, as you say, and living in a studio apartment?
Yeah, I don't really know the percentage off my top of my head.
Because you're talking about people that might be working 40 hours a week with a family, with a bunch of kids and things like that, and they thought that the 40 hours of work week was designed for the family. That's like there's a false assumption.
Hold on, American. That's the American way. It's always been the American way.
The American way used to be a whole lot different. It changes over time. You know what doesn't change? The people adjusting to accepting that it changes over time. I'm trying to tell you this. The American dream, whatever y'all want to call that, it's a myth, but let's just say they selling you the American dream. The 40-hour work week is not designed for a blanketed statement. If you got 17 kids and a wife, your 40-hour work week should pay for them. They never designed a 40-hour work week for that. They're just telling you if you work 40 hours, that's a full work week. They are saying that for an individual. There is no family 40-hour work week. It's for an individual. For example, if either man has no family at all, he works 40 hours, you tell him, well, you work full time. If I have 17 kids and I work 40 hours a week, you'll tell me I work full time. The problem is the statement is not designed to fit all circumstances. So maybe you cannot work 40 hours a week. Maybe you have to work 80, 90, 100 hours a week to fit your circumstances. There's a false myth out there that 40 hours a week is designed for everybody. It's not.
But see, that's the problem, Aaron. What I'm saying is, I have saw people that make $35,000 a year sustain a family of four. You know, they're eating peanut butter jelly sandwiches, they're eating ramen noodles, they're eating hot dogs.
I know they can do it. Yeah, I get it.
Listen, and guess what? All the kids are sharing bedrooms. Kids don't have their own bedrooms in this type of house.
Sharing clothes, all that.
They doing hand-me-downs, all these stuff at $35,000. And see what happened is, you know, social media have given us an unrealistic expectations on how a family is supposed to be sustained. $35,000 in most countries outside of most cities outside of the big cities can actually sustain a family. It's just that we want to go on vacation. We want to go to Six Flags. We want to go to Disney World. And you know, if you be honest, Bit Mufasa, back in the day, Black people weren't doing those things that they're trying to do now. So it is a livable wage. You just want to keep up with the Joneses. Can you at least agree, Bit Mufasa? It's not the money, it's how they spend the money.
You know what? Yeah, I can agree with that. I think we're too wasteful with the spending. I think we try to live as, you know, my dad used to say, too high on the hog. And we see what other people have on social media, and we think we should have more than that. But like I said, my whole point is, like I said, even with the cost of housing has risen so much, and the wages haven't kept up with it. You know, and like just housing, gas, food, the basic necessities. We can take out the vacations and the trip, but my thing is, can't you agree that with everything raising like it is and the wages not rising, that's an issue in America?
No, it's not. The reason it's not
not.
an issue. So in Virginia, I just looked it up. The average cost for housing for like a 3-bedroom house is about $1,200. I'm not in Virginia, Big Mufasa. Is that about right?
Yeah, that's really cheap. That's more like that can't be right. That's like a
Well, the,
2-bedroom
the average,
apartment.
the median income
Okay.
in Virginia is only $20,000 a year. 50,000 for 50 like
But yeah,
40,
that's not
50,000
that's not
for
in Richmond. That's not in Richmond, a
that
metropolitan
was
city.
that was in
Hold on,
That
Richmond,
can't.
Virginia.
hold on. Let's
All
play
right.
the game.
Okay.
So how much do you think the average cost of the house of a 2-bedroom house?
A 2-bedroom house. So we just talking about a single. Okay, a 2-bedroom
Let's say
house.
apartment. Let's say a 2-bedroom apartment.
A 2-bedroom apartment. The average is going to be between 13 and 1,500.
Okay, let's say 1,500. I like 1,500. So say for example, $1,500. Do you feel like if somebody stayed in a 1,500 apartment, is that livable? Because you keep saying livable wage, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's livable depending on their situation, but yeah, that's livable.
All right, so we're at $18,000, right? So then let's say utilities, all that stuff. How much do you think that should roughly cost you a month? Utilities, food, all that stuff for a family of 3.
For a family of 3.
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, off the top of my head, food, utilities, let's say extra $800 to $1,000.
Let's say 1,000. I like $1,000. So we're gonna add an
It's a
extra.
round number.
Yeah, I like $1,000 because I believe that you can feed your family and do all those things for $1,000, right? So we went $18,000 plus an additional $12,000.
30,000.
We'll agree that we had $30,000. So a livable wage technically can be $30,000 in Virginia. Do you disagree with that, or you agree with it, or you disagree with it?
Now, this is also depending on how many children do you have, because you said
But
3
you have
children.
children, it's
A
not-
2-bedroom apartment won't get it. A 2-bedroom apartment can't do anything with 3 children.
He
What do you
said he
mean?
said 2. He said 3. Family of 3.
No, hold on, but why
Yeah.
not?
Why not?
Why can't 3 kids be in one room? It happened in my family growing up.
And you said back in the day, that's how it used to be. I remember us sleeping in one little living room, 15 of us, feet to the. So what you talking about? You want to talk about the past so much? We talk about it right now.
Yeah. Okay. My thing is in the now, I don't know how you got it. We didn't grow up to 3 in a room. I didn't.
We did.
Then that just tells you that you elevated your lifestyle. That's ultimately what it was.
But Big Mufasa, what is the problem with 3 kids being in one room? We get bunk beds, we get a twin size bed, and we get a bunk bed. What is wrong with that?
Well, I mean, it's nothing wrong with it. It's nothing wrong with 3 kids living. Like I said, I guess it's nothing wrong. But then again, number one, the law says you can't have a boy and a girl in the same room anyway.
What
law say that?
The law states that you can't have boys and girls in the same bedroom.
In what state? How long? Let me look this up.
I
Y'all never heard that?
That might be
hold
true.
on. You've never heard that you just can't have boys and girls in the same bedroom. You can't just have 6 kids in one bedroom. Like I said, if you look up, like I said, pretty much, I forgot exactly what it is, but you can't have, say you have 5 kids. You're not supposed. It's the occupancy rate. You're not supposed to just have 6 or 7 kids in a 2-bedroom apartment. You can't have 4 and 5 kids to a bedroom. It's against the law to do that.
All right, yeah, well, if that's Virginia law, cool. I don't want to argue that, right? So, see, the problem is, Big Mufasa, what you're proving is because you was not disciplined and you didn't know how to not continue to have kids that you can't afford for, you want these corporations to pay for your mess up. Nobody told you to go out and have 5 kids if you only have a job making $40,000 a year. Why do I have to be accountable for you not controlling your dick?
You don't.
That's why it's not the corporation fault. That's what I said. So when people say that I got 6 kids, I'm not making enough money, that's because you made bad decisions and you kept having kids when you wasn't making enough money to support the kids that you was taking care of. That is not my fault as your employer because you decide to keep going having kids. If that's the case, give me the right to be able to nip you when you can't have no more kids. If I'm going to be responsible for you having kids.
Well, I'm not saying you should be responsible for me having kids. My thing is, like I said, I just think in this capitalistic society that we give corporations so much leeway on the fact that they can continue to we sit here and we see all of this stuff rising, and you don't have to raise wages. I think that's outrageous.
You're lying though. All right, look, unless you literally show us somebody's bank account statement where it says groceries, rent, transportation, and that's it, we don't need to have this conversation. You know what B&A statements? Starbucks, McDonald's. Like, no. The problem is people give their money away when they have it. That's just the truth. The people that you're looking, this is what's so crazy. The people that are filthy rich, right? Filthy rich, all create products that you don't have to have. You don't have to have a Tesla. You don't. You don't have to have nothing on Amazon ever. Nothing. You don't never have to shop at Amazon ever. You can survive your whole life and have never bought anything from Amazon. All of these rich people are literally selling you things that you do not need. People are making people rich by buying things that they don't need and being mad that they're being able to buy things that they don't need. That's just the God honest truth. And I know it don't sound good, but that's what's going on. So do you want to stop being able to buy things that you don't need and only be able to have access to the things you need? Or do you want the freedom to buy the stuff that you like to enjoy life?
Well, my thing is, I got a question. Would you consider internet a need or a want?
They give that to you. The government give it to you.
No, the government doesn't.
Yes, they do.
You can't make $40,000 and $50,000 and think they're going to give you internet. What?
So, okay, I'm gonna let E answer this one.
What about an iPhone? I mean, not even an iPhone. What about a regular phone? Do you think the government's going to pay your cell phone bill? Who?
Obama phone. You ain't never heard of Obama phones?
You can't have you're not working. If you just said if I'm making a job making $40,000, the government is not giving anybody making $40,000 or $50,000 a government phone. They're not.
All right, so listen. I'm going to tell you something that you're not going to like. The government determines whatever threshold you're talking about. Like for example, the corporations don't determine what poverty is. None of them reach up and go, hey, let's say poverty is $30,000. They're not part of that conversation. Your government decides the thresholds for you. And then your government says, all right, if you're not making this X amount of money, then we'll subsidize you. So if the government, your people that's here to protect you, then if they tell you make too much money, that's not either man's problem. Take that up with your government. Tell you ain't mad at corporations, you mad at your government. And this is the problem that people are having. Fix your government and you fix whatever issues you have with these corporations. Which the truth of the matter is, you can't fix politicians, so you mad at businesses. That's just the truth of the matter.
Well, no, I can agree with you there, and my thing. It's a twofold problem. This is not just a one-fold problem. You can't put it all in the government and say, "Hey, the corporations and the companies just get to skate free," and the only people that's living worth a damn in the United States, so business owners and CEOs.
How do they skate free? This is the thing that we're not understanding what you're saying. The government says that it's a minimum that I must pay you. I must pay you $7.25, right? That's the minimum that I must pay you. Your responsibility is to negotiate the salary that you get, and it is programs that is put in place. Matter of fact, I know here in the state of Washington, can't speak in that, every child must have internet. Matter of fact, they have a whole program called the ACP program. If a child is in school, it's a law that that the government will subsidize their internet. Is their internet going to be horrible? Is it going to be slow? It's called the ACP program. It is. That comes with it, but it's companies that get breaks. This is why a company like Comcast get breaks, because they give the internet to these low income places. When you look at it, yes, you're right to an extent. If I'm making $40,000 and I'm single, they're not going to give me a free phone because they say I should be able to afford it. But if I got 6 kids and I'm making $40,000, they're going to give me food stamps. And on top of giving me food stamps, they're going to give me a phone too.
Well, hold on. My thing is, can we stop with the whole, if you got 6 or 17 kids, the average family has 2, 2.5 or 2. Was it 1.7 now?
No, listen, that was your example. You went up and talking about 6 kids in the room. I started saying that a realistic family is 2 parents and 2 kids, 4. A family of 4. A family of 4 can comfortably live into apartment for 2. I mean, apartment with 2. A 2-bedroom apartment. I'm sorry, a 2-bedroom apartment. Now that family of 4 decided they want to have 5 more kids that they cannot afford. That is on the family, not the corporation.
Yeah, and I agree that that's not on the corporation. But my thing is, it seems like you guys don't think the corporations have any responsibility to where they do business at, where they sell their products to, who they employ. You don't give them any responsibility. And what I'm saying is, no, the government has responsibility, and the corporations has to have some responsibility, or we get what we got today, where we have so many companies have left.
Mufasa,
All right, go ahead, bro.
What's the responsibility that they have that you think they should?
I think that they have a responsibility to at least keep their wages up with inflation to where it's always been. Let's say what it was in 1980 or 1975 or whatever, 1990. Can we at least get our wages up to that point? My thing is, wages are way out of whack right now.
Here's the problem with that statement, right? Because you want to guarantee. So let me give you an example to make what you said realistic.
Don't do that, Aaron. Don't do that.
If
I don't like guarantees. I do not like guarantees.
Listen, if what you're saying is you want a guaranteed raise of inflation, then the corporations want a guaranteed profitability. Meaning, if we make 25% profit every year, then you must guarantee that customers going to come to our business and give us 25% profit every single year. So that way,
hold on, Aaron.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Aaron. My question is will the company not raise their prices to their customers to go along with inflation? Because they will raise those prices, right?
Sir, that was not my statement. I'll reiterate for you to answer that, and then you can ask a new question. You want a guaranteed cost of inflation raise, okay? I'm saying then the corporations want a guarantee from customers to buy products from them so that they get a 25% profitability every single year. Do you think that's reasonable?
I think you just asked a disingenuous question.
Answer the question.
You're asking.
No, that's
back out of there.
No, man, that's a disingenuous question, Granville. Because
listen,
we all know. Because
but listen, Mufasa, this is the problem. This is the problem. That's why I don't like guarantees. How can you guarantee one side but not the other, bro? In America, bro, you have every opportunity to fight for the wage you want to be paid. If that corporation is not going to pay you that wage, it's up to you to go somewhere else, I guess, and demand a higher wage and see if those people will pay you, bro.
But Granville, my whole point is, if every corporation plays that game and say, "Oh, go somewhere else, we're only going to pay you this," then where are Americans stuck with? They're stuck with low wages. This is why I'm saying what you're saying is disingenuous, Aaron.
No, wait. No. Go back to what you just said. If all the corporations do what? Say that again.
If all the companies, all the corporations are saying, "Hey, this is what we're paying. We don't care what the market rate is." Then guess what? Everybody in that field, everybody working for these companies are working for a lower wage. And now you have now everybody that works in that field is an underclass citizen.
I don't understand what somebody make that make sense what he said. I don't
You
get
can't
it.
make it make sense. You can't make it make
What he's
sense.
saying is the corporations as a combined whole are playing hardball with the civilians. They're
No,
gonna lower the wages across the board. That's what
no,
you're
no,
trying to say,
no, no, no,
Mufasa,
no.
right?
There's
They
a
all get on one
federal.
accord,
Wait,
right?
wait, wait. There's federal and state guidelines implemented by your politician. They cannot just pay you anything. I always argue that there should
Aaron,
be
they're in
no.
cahoots, man. They're in cahoots.
Okay. See, like you trying to create a
It's lobbyists.
You can say it's obvious, but okay, what would you like to be done? Your politicians are the ones that you want to change from. It ain't the companies. They're following the rules and guidelines.
But let's
Right,
okay,
but they're
I can
also
agree to
paying
that,
the
Aaron.
politicians to write the rules in their favor.
Yes, they have lobbyists.
Wait. If that's your argument, right? That they're paying the politicians, lock the politicians up.
No, this is why I
How
said the
you gonna lock the
system.
politicians up and they're the ones that write the laws?
It's a system of greed, Aaron. That's my whole point. The whole system is a
It's like
system of greed.
it's supposed to be this whole thing about not having monopolies and stuff, right? But don't they end up having monopolies anyway, even though
No.
it's against the law?
No, there's actually very few monopolies and close to none. Most of the monopolies are sports leagues. And those are typically the only ones that actually exist. You can argue you may
all these mergers and you talking about ain't no monopolies?
No, there's
No, it's
actually not.
So let me
Man,
tell you
please.
what the government does. No, the government does.
Y'all playing.
T-Mobile was in the position that they tried to buy AT&T, and they felt that they would be a monopoly, so they banned that from happening. So the government actually stopped more monopolies than we actually.
It's called the DOJ. So, but the point of it is, we understand it. That's not what she's trying to say. What you're saying is, effectively in America, Apple has a monopoly on iPhones. That's what you think because they're the best company to America. But there's actually other businesses that actually will charge you less that you can actually go and purchase. It's literally the people deciding those prices. You can make the argument in sports and sports only primarily because they actually may have a waiver to operate a monopoly, but that's the only industries you could argue.
But this would if Big Mufasa would be honest. Hold on, listen. If Big Mufasa would be honest, because this is really what happened with corporations. You have Callie Bell that says that it's going to cost you $60,000 a year, and then you have John the Baptist says that he's going to work $35,000 a year. Who are you hiring, Big Mufasa?
Where it depends on the skill set. If their skill set the same,
skills. Let's say it's the exact same skills.
the exact same skills.
Yep.
Well, my thing it depends on my business, but like I said, if I had to, but you said that if I'm gonna offer you that, I have the ability to pay them both, right?
Yep, you got the ability to pay $60,000, but you have two candidates that are identical. One want $35,000 and one want $60,000. Which one are you going to choose?
Me personally, like I said, I would choose the $60,000, and I'm gonna tell you why.
So make your question.
Let me tell you why. Because that employee that I pay $60,000 can do a lot more in the economy. That employee that I pay $60,000 can take care of their family. The wife might not be able to work. My thing is, guess what, E-Man? It may not all be about you. That's the problem here.
Oh no!
Everything's
So then you have you won't have a high turnover rate.
Yes. Do you want somebody that's going to last or somebody that's going to be looking for another job?
You asked the right number, but you asked the wrong question. The question probably should have been what's the better price for your deal for your company?
No, he don't care about his company. He care about their family eating. That's what he said.
I care about a happy employee. I care about a happy employee and not one that's looking for another job.
See, that's this crazy thing, because I used to think this too until I started hiring people. I got a person. I have two different people who make two different salaries, and they both happy because they happy that they think they got what they wanted. The one who wanted $35,000, he wanted $35,000. He don't know somebody else. This figment of his imagination that his employee got $60,000. This idea just because they making $35,000, they not happy is a bad narrative. It's a bad narrative.
Well, hold on. Well, you're right, but I don't think that's right. But my thing is, so what happens when he looks on Indeed and figure out that, hey, the average salary for this position is 47 or it's 45,000 or 50,000. He's leaving you.
You actually prove the point, though. See, you actually be running yourselves in circles, right? So, one, you're saying that they fine until they find out what somebody else's life is like. And then the second one is
no, until they find out what you're offering, Aaron, not what somebody else's life is like. It's not jealousy. You learn the market.
You just proved it was jealousy, and I'm gonna show you how you pigeonhole yourself each time. One, you showed that before they found out how much somebody else was making, they had no complaints. The second thing you said is once they find out they're getting paid under market rate, they're going to leave. So now you're saying they're determining if they want to work for that company or not, based upon if the company is paying them fairly.
People would take jobs for different reasons. You might be desperate. You might have a mortgage. You might have kids to feed. It's not because they're accepting it because
Yep. I accept this to end of the show. And I'm going to tell you why. Y'all want us to create an everything fits all snare. I done had about enough. Listen, everybody, I thank you for tuning in. If you are on the replay gang, make sure you leave a comment in the chat. I tried to turn this conversation into a fun conversation, but at some point, you just got to come on now. Y'all saw what happened. A lot of good moments in this show. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We appreciate y'all. We're going to see y'all in the next show. I have served my time to the people. We